Current world champion Ty Woffinden stood on top of the podium in Prague after securing only his second ever Grand Prix victory. On a night that saw the World Championship lead changed 9 times and led by 5 different riders, a capacity crowd at the Marquetta Stadium were treated to an evening of high-octane action. Australia's Darcy Ward, one of the riders who sat momentarily on top of the world, took a 15-point maximum from the heats but failed to reach the final when finishing third in his semi. Having topped the series, arriving in the Czech capital and still carrying an injury, Poland's Krzysztof Kasperzak lost his lead, firstly to Denmark's Nicky Pedersen, who then in turn lost it to a charging Greg Hancock. Both riders would make the final, where they lined up alongside Woffinden and round 3 winner Matti Zegar. Woffinden in blue off gate 2 led into the first corner, but never looked like being caught as he headed to victory and the 5th man to lead the World Championship on the night. After 4 rounds of the series, the World Championship table looks like this. Britain's Ty Woffinden and America's Greg Hancock are equal on points, but Ty leads by virtue of his World Championship status of being number 1 to Greg's number 4. Darcy Ward is a point behind in 3rd, and Nicky Pedersen a further point behind in 4th. Krzysztof Kasperzak, who led arriving in Prague, has dropped to 6th, 6 points behind the lead. So the championship moves north to Sweden and a welcome return after a year's sabbatical for the G&B Arena in Melilla. All the current crop of SGP riders are familiar with the track, but despite being in the elite league of Swedish Speedway, the famous Dakarna club can only boast one SGP rider, Denmark's Nicky Pedersen. Hi there, good evening everybody. Welcome along to round 5 of the World Individual Speedway Championship from the G&B Arena, Melilla, the home of the Dakarna Club here, and a terrific turnout for tonight's Swedish Speedway Grand Prix. Kelvin Tatum, former World Long Track Champion, former World Finalist and former England skipper, alongside me in our commentary box, high overlooking the entrance to the first turn here in Melilla. Kelvin, the first thing we should mention, of course, is the fact that there are just 8 points separating the top 8 in the World Championship. So tonight, another significant twist in the title race. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, very much so. It's a fabulous setting, a super day. We had awful weather yesterday. Practice was washed out completely, so this will be the first time the riders enter the arena. No practice, of course, straight into the thick of the action. And you're dead right. Championship is so tight. Very little to choose between the top 8. And Nicky Pedersen coming out in Heat 1. Terrific meeting in prospect.
Beautiful sunny evening here in the middle of the forest here at Melilla, the home of Dakarna, as we say, and track conditions just about right. You had a walk on it a little bit earlier, Kelvin. Talk us through your thoughts.
Yeah, they've tyre-packed it heavily and the straights are rock hard. They've ripped the mid to the outside and the corners, so there will be a little bit of dirt there. Inside of the track on the corners is rock hard as well. It's going to be a little bit patchy. Bike setup not easy. I would think that it's going to be a fact-finding mission in your first ride. No practice, as I said. Last-minute adjustments to Nicky Pedersen coming into the inside gate. Big race meeting this, normally super speedway here in Melilla.
Here we go at the G&B Arena in Melilla. Nicky Pedersen goes off the inside, 3 times world champion and currently 4th in the world. Krzysztof Kasperzak, winner of the Bydgoszcz GP. Chris Holder, world champion in 2012. And Kenneth Bier of Denmark going off the outside in yellow. It's a big, fast, natural racetrack this. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fabulous racetrack. We've seen some superb action here in the past. No World Championship Speedway here last year. We saw the World Cup here the previous season, and it has been on the calendar regularly, so it's good to be back. Great crowd in, terrific atmosphere. The Swedes have come out in their droves. 2 Swedish riders, of course, for them to support this evening. 3 in actual fact, including the wild card Repeater Young. Heat 1 about to get underway.
Here we go then, here in Melilla. And the referee Marek Wojciech from Poland about to get us underway then. Green light is on, here we go. Oh! Drama in heat number 1, and Krzysztof Kasperzak looked as though he was desperate to get away and a little bit too eager there. The red light's on us straight away.
Oh, that's a dreadful start for Kasperzak, suffering with injury problems in the last few weeks. Of course, he's struggled in the previous Grand Prix in Prague. You could clearly see he was uncomfortable. And that's not the ideal way to start tonight's proceedings. He just wasn't patient enough, took the chance, charged the tapes. And that's a disappointing start for the pole.
Christoph Kasperzak tapes disqualification then in the first race of the night then, so disappointment for KK, who, as you said, Kelvin, there were times in the previous round where he looked as though he was almost crying with pain.
Yeah, he was struggling to ride the bike. That left knee was causing him all sorts of problems, and that's a shame for him, because you can ill afford to throw points away. And with nobody having a race here tonight, just sense that there was a lot of tension on the start there in Heat 1. And he just couldn't quite be patient enough.
Well, another question was asked when practice was cancelled yesterday, and we should say here that the track staff have been working on this circuit all day because it was literally torrential rain here in Melilla yesterday. No surprise that it was called off. And some of the riders and their representatives did ask the question about the possibility of practice this morning, but they have deliberately stayed clear of the track to just give it every opportunity to recover from yesterday's rain. So, as you say, Calvin, the first opportunity for these riders to come in and have a go, and Linus Sundström gets a chance to replace Kasperzak here.
Yeah, you just see quite clearly that near enough pulls his helmet off as he clips the tapes over his peak. You see it there, grabbing hold of the peak, and very uncomfortable and an unfortunate start for tonight for Kasperzak. Won in Bydgoszcz, second round of the World Championship this year in fine style. Fabulous effort. Led the World Championship after 2 rounds by 11 points. Couldn't compete in Finland. Remarkably, led the championship coming out of there. Picked up 7 points last time. It's a shame. He's given himself a hard task now with four chances instead of 5.
Kasperzak on 42 points, 6th place ahead of tonight's action. As we say, just a couple of rounds ago he was the series leader, but he did miss that meeting in Tampere in Finland, which was round 3, and still remarkably came out on top of the standings that night as the rest hunted him down. But then 7 points in Prague in the previous round, and he was overhauled, and we have Woffenden and Hancock top of the standings and 8 points separating the top 8. It really is a remarkable situation for the World Championship to be in. And remember, in a fortnight's time, when we go to Copenhagen, we'll be at the halfway stage of the competition.
Yeah, we will be. It's incredible how quickly it passes by, but it's so open now after the with Kasperzak not being able to ride in Finland. It all tightened up, and then the return of form of Woffenden, and then a fabulous run of form also from Matti Zagar winning his first Grand Prix, and then getting the onto the rostrum last time in Prague as well. It's really has tightened up. Nicky Pedersen riding at number 1. That means he will be out every time after a track grade, and sometimes that can be penal. You can catch the track when they've just walked it, and it might just work against you, but he rides here. He rides for Dakana, and he knows this place inside out, and he'll be very keen to get off to a good start on the inside.
A couple of former Dakar riders in this lineup tonight as well, not this race, but certainly in the meeting. Pedersen, Sundström, Holder and Bier across the grid. Andreas Jonsson and Fredrik Lindgren, former Dakar riders in this meeting here tonight.
Just a quick word about Sundström. In good form.
Yeah.
Won the qualifying Berwick in the UK for the World Championship qualifying. I would think he would be coming into this meeting, no pressure on the Swede. He'll be very keen to show some form here tonight.
Yeah, he's a stylish rider, Linus Sundström, no doubt about that. He's off gate number 2 in blue, former Peterborough rider in the UK, and they're away this time around, and Nicky Pedersen has made an absolute beauty. Holder switches up the inside, and now Bier around the outside. That's a smart move from Holder. Here comes Pedersen down the back straight. Lovely move from Nicky Pedersen up the inside line. Now will Holder try the inside again?
Oh!
He's closing it on him. Oh, what
Fabulous.
a move!
And
And Bier's there as well, and Pedersen loses it.
He did indeed. That was a super move from Chris Holder initially in the first corner. Pedersen then responded. Bier round the inside, got the better of the 3-time world champion as well, and Pedersen was taken by surprise there. Holder, who's been out of form recently in the leagues, hasn't been scoring the points he would have wanted in Sweden and Poland. Terrific opening ride from the former world champion. Linus Sundström is tailed off in 4th place, but the Aussie Chris Holder under pressure from Bier. Looks good.
Well, that was tough. I'm surprised Pedersen managed to stay on the bike there. It looked...
Whoa,
here comes Bier on the inside. Fabulous move here in the opening race of the night. And it's Kenneth Bier, the Dane, who gets the better here of Chris Holder into turn 3 and 4. Takes the checkered flag. Well, that's just for starters, folks. And if that's a sign of things to come, we are well and truly in for a thrilling night of Speedway.
That was a super opening race, wasn't it? It came from nowhere, Bier. Got to show so good speed. He was chasing hard in second place. I would have thought Holder would have felt that he had that one in the bag going down the back straight on the last lap, but Bier found some super drive coming out of turn 2 on the last lap. Got himself to the front. Great opening race.
Kenneth Bier, the winner. He'd had a lot of speed there. He was right up Holder's exhaust pipe, even though Holder had that lead. And just one slip and Bier was there with a fantastic move. Nicky Pedersen was third. Linus Sundström at the back. 3 big points for Kenneth Bier. A magnificent effort and a terrific speedway race to get us underway tonight.
Yeah, action-packed throughout the 4 laps. Nicky Pedersen initially sort of stealing the action from the tapes in the opening ride, but what a ride from Kenneth Bier. Had been struggling with that collarbone injury in previous weeks, but coming from gate 4, never easy here. It's a long way to get across. Pedersen hits the front, gets himself in no man's land. Holder takes advantage initially. Got to say that Pedersen responds well to get himself back to the front. Seeing it again. Good move from Holder. Bier on the outside. Pedersen coming into second place and then to the front, but then from nowhere, Holder and Bier were able to get better of Pedersen, squeezing him wide. And look at Bier up the inside, taking advantage of the hole that was created by the move from Holder. But Bier, late on in the race, coming into the last corner, gets the better of the Australian Holder, and from nowhere picks up a really useful win. To be pumped about that, that's a terrific confidence booster for him.
Yep, good speedway then here. Kenneth Bier, who is part of
you can see big smiles there.
Part of the all-conquering Kings Lynn Stars side in the UK, who are romping away at the top of the Elite League table in England and looking so good.
Although he hasn't done that much.
No.
Hasn't done that much racing for them, has he? But certainly Kings Lynn Stars have been terrific form so far, and yeah, that's a great way to start tonight.
Yep, number 2 coming up here. Here's your lineup. Martin Smolinski, winner in New Zealand, of course, with that sensational result. Troy Batchelor, who goes off gate number 2, has shown glimpses this season in the GP so far of what he can do. Andreas Johnson knows every inch of this G&B Arena circuit here in Melilla. And the reigning champion and joint series leader, Ty Woffenden, is off gate number 4, the outside here.
Yeah, be looking for a good start to tonight. Woffenden, who was supreme in Prague 2 weeks ago, was a really professional performance from the world champion. Turned his season around after Bydgoszcz, round 2. Looked like he was down and out, really did look down in the dumps. But incredible turnaround in fortunes for him. And the team, the rider, seemed to be completely different and riding brilliantly, winning again back-to-back Grand Prix in Prague. Here we go. Keep an eye out for Smolinski. He's been in good form this year.
Here we go with heat number 2, away first time as well, and Woffenden's made a good one from the outside and gets the drop as well. That's a smart move from gate number 4. It's a long way to the first turn here from the outside gate, and Woffenden has that lead now. Second place in white is Andreas Johnson, who comes around the outside here of Martin Smolinski, and the man at the back is Troy Batchelor. But that was a smart move. Woffenden oozing confidence right now. He is in terrific form once again, and he made a jet-propelled getaway there from the outside gate.
Well, picking up where he left off last time in Prague, jet propelled from the gate, swept across the opposition, getting into the first corner and is pulling away. Johnson got the better of the German Smolinski to get into second place early doors. Batchelor out the back trying hard, but it's got a little bit slick round the inside. Woffenden having a sneaky look over his left shoulder, and Johnson's there, but got to feel the world champion to pick up his first win here.
Looking quick here, Ty Woffenden, who is now going to go 3 points clear at the top of the World Championship with this victory. Batchelor's having a go at the back, but Woffenden wins it.
Tight.
Second place was Johnson, and third, Smolinski on the line with Batchelor having a real go. But Ty Woffenden gets off to a winning start here in Melilla. And from gate number 4, a superb swoop around the outside, clamped the line.
Yeah,
and Woffenden is oozing confidence and approaching his best form of last season.
Yeah, he's back to his best, yes, and we saw it 2 weeks ago in Prague, which was a masterful performance, and they're starting in fine style from the outside.
So the result, a win for Ty Woffenden then. Second place there went to Andreas Johnson with Martin Smolinski third. Batchelor had a real go towards the end of the race, but Woffenden back to his best, and during the week. He did say that he's starting to make comparisons to last season. He's just getting better and better and riding superbly on the big stage of the Grand Prix Series.
Yeah, that's a great effort from the outside because it is a very long way, very wide here in Melilla. And he just charges down the back straight and does a little bit of showboating on the back wheel. Jonsson into second place straight away, getting the better of Smolinski, and there's a real tussle for third place between Smolinski and Batchelor right to the checkered flag. But Woffinden down in front controls the race, and he'll be delighted with this start from the outside. Tough race, having a look over his left shoulder, comfortable down in front. Jonsson does close the gap a little bit, but the world champion will be pleased with his start.
Kelvin, I don't know whether you noticed this, but in the opening couple of heats, Marek Wojcik, the referee, seems to be holding the tapes quite a long time. When the green light comes on, seems to be holding them significantly.
Yeah, and that can cause problems. You know, particularly for your first ride, you're very nervous. It's a big night at Speedway, and the nerves are jangling, and you want to get underway. We saw it with Kasperzak, caught him out. So if you're observing the first few races, you would want to be thinking, yeah, I just got to sit still.
Well, look at this for a lineup for the wild card to come into. Peter Young is off the outside in yellow. He was a Grand Prix regular, but is a wild card here tonight. Peter Young rode for Leicester in the Elite League in the UK before walking away from British Speedway earlier on this season. And now focusing here in Sweden and Poland. But look at this for a lineup. The world number 2, Jarek Hampel, off the inside. The second place this year, Greg Hancock, is off gate number 2. He's a point ahead of Darcy Ward, who's third in the World Championship. And Peter Young going off the outside. So if Peter needed a reminder of what the GP was all about, this is it.
Yeah, it's just about to experience it, isn't he? He's going to come from the outside, where he saw Woffinden make a great start. Bier also won from the outside, although he didn't make the start, but he got himself to the front. Crew looking on keenly. That's the Darcy Ward crew looking on.
Yep, and here we go.
So we've got a line up here, and Jaroslav Hampel on the inside needs a big Grand Prix, Nigel. Been out of form in the last couple, and the pole, a professional rider, no question, looks for a big night.
Here we go then. Oh, again, a long time. The tape stayed down, and Hampel has made the start there, and coming up the inside in white is Ward, and around the outside is Peter Young, a super ride from the Swede. Hancock has slotted into third, and the man at the back right now is Darcy Ward, but really having a go now is Peter Young, the wild card. But Hampel clamps the line, has that lead, and now Ward's going to grab a handful of throttle at the back and try and get the better of Greg Hancock for a valuable point here.
Yeah, good start from Hampel. This is more like it from the Polish rider. Disappointing previously. He had a nasty crash in Prague and couldn't really get over it. Scored a couple of points. Good ride from the wild card from the outside. Hampel's got this one in the bag. Darcy Ward out the back, that's a surprise. He hasn't been able to land a blow with Greg Hancock, the American, in third, but Hampel out in front. This is a great start for the night. Out of form in the Grand Prix, looking good tonight.
It's no problem with his league form. He's been piling up the points in Poland and Sweden, Jarek Hampel, and he's got off to a flying start tonight as well. Young holds on for second spot ahead of Greg Hancock. Darcy Ward at the back there in heat number 3. But what a start from Jarek Hampel. Superb effort from him. 11th place before tonight on 31 points, but Peter Young really in the thick of the action, having a go and getting second spot there. But the big winner in the opening 4 heats tonight in the title race has been Ty Woffinden. He's just seen Greg Hancock and Darcy Ward drop points around him, and Nicky Pedersen as well. So Woffinden is the winner so far. Hampel, 3 big points for him. Second place was Peter Young, the wild card, and third was Greg Hancock, with Darcy Ward at the back there. 3 heats gone here at the G&B Arena in Melilla, and most definitely it's gone Ty Woffinden's way so far when it comes to the context of the world title. But very quick there, Jarek Hampel. There's been no problem with his league form, Kelvin. It's just at this level that he's been struggling a little bit.
Yeah, the last 2 Grand Prix, Finland and Prague, really haven't worked out for him. Prague, I would think it was down to he had a hard crash and he wasn't able to really recover. We're seeing here in his opening ride that he was able to get away from the inside and showed a lot of speed, with Peter Young there buzzing around in second place and Hancock in third, who came under a lot of pressure from Darcy Ward. And Ward, I would have thought, was going to be able to get himself into a point scoring position, but failed to do so. So the Australian will be bitterly disappointed with his opening ride. But for Jarek Hampel, that's what we expect from him. He's a multiple Grand Prix winner, world number 2. Thumbs up for his first ride.
Yep, great effort from Jari Campbell then, and here we go with heat number 4. After this race, every rider will have completed one ride, although you could say Kasperzak hasn't because he touched the tapes.
No.
And so he'll be desperate to get back out there as quickly as possible. But Matti Zagar now is here off the inside gate in red, 43 GP points, and he is now 6 behind Woofenden, who is the series leader on 49 as it stands at the moment. So Zagar looking for a big race here off the inside gate, but what a lineup it is as well. Chris Harris of Great Britain showing improved form in Prague. He actually rode in the UK for Coventry last night. Chris Harris picked up payday for the Bees against the Bellevue Aces and then flew out here to Sweden this morning. Matti Zagar off the inside then. Chris Harris off gate number 2. Niels Christian Iversen goes off gate number 3 in white. And Freddie Lindgren, a former favourite here of the Dakar Club, he goes off the outside.
Yeah, Matti Zagar on the inside start there. He's had terrific form in the last 2 Grand Prix. Has scored 31 points in the last 2 Grand Prix, which is outstanding. And in that, he's won his first Grand Prix. And all of a sudden, he's beginning to grow in stature at this level. Don't rule him out for another big night tonight. Chris Harris was improved in Prague. Unfortunately, his bike packed up on the start of his first ride. Otherwise, he might well have made the semi-final there, and that was a disappointing blow. Iversen looking for a really big night also. Yeah, another super racing prospect.
Yep, here we go then with heat number 4. Oh, again, the tapes were just kept down so long there, and Matti Zagar has made a super start. Iversen is going to try the inside line. Coming around is Freddie Lindgren in yellow now to relegate Harris to the back, but Matti Zagar with a super start. And now Lindgren tries the inside line on Niels Christian Iversen, but it's Zagar, Iversen, and Harris comes up the inside of Lindgren, who forces a switch up the inside again for that third place here, and now comes up the inside of Harris.
Yeah, real battle for third place. Harris did well to get into third
Zagar's
place.
lost control of Iversen.
Zagar's gone wide, and Iversen's now got himself to the front. Can Zagar respond? Neck and neck down the back straight, really tight out in front. Lindgren hanging on for third place, but Iversen was there at the right time to pounce when Zagar went. When Zagar's up the inside, whoa! A lap to go, Nigel. Good Speedway out in front.
Yeah, great Speedway here at Manila in the World Championship.
For Harris.
And Harris in third place. There's 2 races in 1 here. Great Speedway. And Iversen has done enough here. Second place, Zagar. Third place was Chris Harris, who closed the door on Fredrik Lindgren there. But Niels Christian Iversen was there. He pounced when it mattered. Niels Christian Iversen was superb as Zagar just went wide. Lost it temporarily. Was able to get it under control quickly. But Niels Christian Iversen pounced superbly.
Yeah, exciting racing in the first 4 races. Really super stuff. Iversen was there at the right time when Zagar ran wide. And a great effort from Harris. It was absolutely ruthless getting up into third place, but every point vital. What a good start to tonight's meeting.
Yep.
3 points in heat number 4 for Niels Christian Iversen, the winning time.
Well, Niels Christian Iversen will be chuffed to bits with that. Zagar looked like he had it all under control coming out of the inside gate, but Iversen was pushing hard in third place. Watch it again. It's tight into the first corner. Harris makes a poor start, but Zagar makes a really good one. We've got Lindgren on the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Can't make the outside work. Track is a little bit slick. There are patches of dirt. You can see there dust flying and the sun on the track. Now there's real good fight out in front. Zagar's aware that Iversen is charging hard. And we're seeing it now. Iversen's now hit the front, and it's a really good effort from Harris, who's out the back to get the better of Fredrik Lindgren, who knows this place so very well. But Matti Zagar would be a touch disappointed there. He would have felt that he should have won that race. But Iversen, a classy rider, of course, a world number 3. He'll be pleased as punch to have got off to a winning start.
Yep, great stuff then from Niels Christian Iversen. We saw him a little bit earlier today, relaxing with his family in the sunshine. And Kenneth Bier's off to a good start tonight. And let's hear from him now with Jason Harold.
Well, Kenneth Bier, you really brought the Grand Prix to life with that first heat win. Talk us through it from your point of view.
Yeah, it's a nice race. Gate 4 is always tough around here, but Madison made a good start, but it's a bit traffic and fight up to win.
What about the tapes? We seem to think they may be being held maybe half a second too long. That didn't seem to bother you.
No, it's a Polish referee. They normally do that, so it's all right. That's how it is.
And how is your collarbone? Because we know we gave you a heck of a lot of trouble in the last couple of Grand Prix. How is it now?
It's a lot better, and I don't feel anything now when I'm riding, so I'm back in the gym now, and small exercise with light weights, get my shoulder back strong, so it's going forward.
Kenny, thank you. Good luck.
It's good to hear that he's returning to full fitness. It was a really, really good ride. Really good effort in Heat 1 for him to hit the front. It looked like Holder was going to hang on, but Pierre had a lot of speed in second place. We've had some good overtaking, some good races in the first four. It looks like it could well be a really exciting Grand Prix.
Yeah, I would say 2 of the 4 opening heats have had plenty of passing to talk about and get excited about, and good venue here. Delighted to be back at the G&B Arena, staged the World Cup here in 2012, as well as a Swedish Grand Prix. Missed out last year because we had 2 GPs in Sweden last year, one at the Ullevi and one at the Friends Arena in Stockholm, and a good response from the fans here as well. A beautiful sunny evening in the middle of the Swedish forest here.
We're off the beaten track. There's no doubt about that, but it's a fabulous venue, and the track has always served up great action, and there's a hardcore following here. They get plenty of following for the league racing as well, and the place about 10 years ago had a major makeover. They really did invest heavily here. About 10 million kroner was invested here to put new stands in and relay the track. Pedersen will be disappointed with his opening ride. He made a really good start from the inside, but then didn't have the pace and ended up being back in third place. But you know, with him, he will never throw the towel in, and he'll keep pushing and trying very hard. Maybe they might change the bike or just make 1 or 2 tweaks.
Yep, heat number 5 will be coming up shortly. Let's get some more reaction to the opening 4 heats, though. And a race winner was Jarek Ampel, and he's with Jason Harold.
Jarek, congratulations. That was a fantastic win there. It must have done you the world to good to be back in front.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I need that. I need that from the beginning, so I don't need to worry about my setup from the beginning. Working good, my bikes, I feel good, so of course I need to follow the setup later on because the track changed quick pretty much because of the sun and the weather. Yeah, but I need to think about this, and if I keep my speed, it should be good.
What about the last Grand Prix? We saw you take quite a heavy fall. Did that affect the rest of your night there in Prague?
Yeah, that's true. I couldn't do anything too much actually when I sit on the bike.
No.
I feel so painful on my muscles, so I tried to score every single point, but I couldn't do anything more because of the pain. So, but now it's okay. I feel good again, so I can forget about this and be concentrated today.
Well, it's good to see you taking the checkered flag in, and Jarek, thank you.
Yeah, good start from Jarek Ampel, and looking very, very quick as well. And
They can
the
be, can't
crash
they?
in Prague was horrific.
Yeah, it was really tough with Václav Milik, and Troy Batchelor was on the inside, and it all got the domino effect, and Hampel got really slammed into the track, and it took the wind out of his sails. He never really recovered, although he recovered well enough to score a lot of points in Poland the following day, but just couldn't quite get to grips with conditions in the Marketa Stadium last time. Wuffenden, as you rightly said, was the big winner in the first 4 heats. Hancock 2 points back now with Pedersen third and Zago in fourth. Ward failed to score in his opening ride, and he would be disappointed. And Kasperzak, of course, unfortunately has only himself to blame by running into the tape.
Yeah, Kasperzak, a casualty in the opening heat of a tape-touching incident, but I have to say that Marek Wojciech is really keeping the tapes down for a significant amount of time when the green light comes on.
Interesting reaction from Kenneth Pierre, though, wasn't it? Well, that's a Polish referee, and that's the name of the game. So riders will have to come to terms with it. Wojciech has made his mark on the meeting by making sure that the tapes don't go up too quickly. He wants to see riders sitting still, but hey, yeah, you're just going to have to be patient.
So, heat number 5, Darcy Ward is the man in the white helmet colour, just awaiting the action. The big roller is out there, packing the track down, and the watering has been done as well. That is an aspect of a hot sunny night, to keep the dust down with the water cart.
Track is slicker than it ordinarily might have been. Plenty of tyre packing has gone on. We did have some filthy weather here yesterday. It absolutely was torrential rain. When we were driving across from Gothenburg, we had thunderstorms, we had accidents. It really was quite an adventure just getting here. And the practice was cancelled, and as a consequence, the weather's been gorgeous today with a stiff breeze, and it's as a result we've got a slick racetrack.
So heat number 5 is coming up. A little chuckle in Kelvin's voice there. If anybody knows a decent carpenter in the Melilla area, the door has just flown open at the back of our box, and Kelvin's trying to fix it. There's a race on here, Kel.
Okay.
Heat number 5. If you can just focus on the speedway for a second.
Put my tools away for a minute.
So here we go with heat number 5, and we resume the racing here at the GP
going
Arena.
so well.
Absolutely, and yeah, big race coming up then. The inside gate is Freddie Lindgren, and he'll be disappointed with his last place in his opening ride, because this is until recently his home track, of course, here in the Swedish League. Good lineup coming up here. Heat number 5 then, here of the Swedish Speedway Grand Prix at the G&B Arena here in Melilla.
So heat number 5, Nicky Pedersen coming out here. As I said in the first race, it's quite a tough night for Pedersen, because you're coming out to a freshly prepared track each time. Interesting to see how he copes with that. Big racing prospect.
Here we go with heat number 5 then. Freddie Lindgren looking to bounce back from that last place in his opening ride off the inside. Nicky Pedersen, gate 2 in blue. Gate 3 in white is Martin Smolinski, and Darcy Ward, pointless so far, outside in yellow. Kelvin, will the riders be conscious of the amount of time that the referee Wojciech is keeping the tapes down when the green light is on? Because it can be so unpredictable. Other referees like to put the tapes up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it won't have gone unnoticed. You've just got to try and be as patient as you can be. Trust your clutch. Remain stable on the static on the bike. Don't get off balance, because that really can hinder you when you go away from the tapes, being off back and holding the bike back. They settle down. Let's see how long they have to wait this time.
Here we go then, heat number 5.
It's caught Smolinski
Not
out.
surprised at all.
No,
Not surprised one
it
little
really
bit.
is inviting that every time when Marek Wojciech hanging on to the tapes just a fraction longer than they would be accustomed to. Without definitely.
Will the riders be disillusioned with this? Will they be annoyed with it? What's going on with the referee?
Without doubt, they'll be irritated, because it's normal that he. Yeah, Smolinski coming into the tapes. Of course, Smolinski isn't racing that very much. It certainly isn't riding in Poland at this stage of the season. And for the German, that's a disappointing start for tonight. Just
you must have been in this situation during your career, Kelvin. You must have been when you're with a referee. I mean, there are other referees who like to get on with it. Green light and go. This guy, Wojciech, is quite clearly playing the waiting game with the riders.
Yeah, I don't understand why. He's almost waiting for somebody to move. And as I say, that's irritating. But as Kenneth Pierre said in his interview, that's the name of the game tonight. It's a Polish referee, and you should know that. Smolinski hasn't have a lot of Polish experience, and he isn't riding in many leagues outside Germany at this stage in the Grand Prix. So just a little bit frustrated and a little bit impatient. Ward may have been moving a fraction, and that can sometimes initiate you to jump forward and touch the tapes, and can be hugely frustrating, but it's something that you've got to come to terms with. Here we see it again. Ward, no, Smolinski's got only himself to blame.
He's looking straight down at the tapes.
Yeah, he's not looking across at all, so he can't use Ward as the excuse. And the German will be very frustrated about that. Started the season so well.
He's drifting out of the top 8 now, Kelv, as well. That's a great point, because, you know, you said he started it well, but he was 9th ahead of tonight. Everson's gone ahead of him. Smolinski is dropping down the standings, and after what was a super start, a fairy tale start in Auckland, it's turning now into a not so good situation for Martin Smolinski. Woofenden the leader then on 49 points. This is the World Championship standings. Hancock 47. Nicky Pedersen in this race, remember, off gate number 2. And there we see now Everson creeping into the top 8 at the expense of Martin Smolinski, who moves down the standings here, and Freddie Lindgren as well.
Freddie Lindgren. Ward on the outside will be very keen to get away. Tight in this race. Certainly he was outpaced in the first one, couldn't land a blow at all. He's the last one to be coming up to the tapes, just hanging back a fraction, getting pushed off now. inside. Pedersen was frustrating in his first ride. He'll be looking to go a little bit better than that. He knows this place so well. So Smolinski's the one that loses out. Dennis Anderson will be the one man coming in.
Freddie Lindgren off the inside there in red, with Nicky Pedersen going off gate 2 in blue. Dennis Anderson, second reserve tonight. He goes off gate number 3, and Darcy Ward off the outside. This is only the 5th race of the night, and already we've had 2 reserve replacements in the opening 5 heats because of starting offences here.
Yeah, Dennis Anderson and Darcy Ward previously teammates in the UK, of course, with the Poole Pirates. So Anderson will be very much aware of the abilities of Ward on the outside. Lindgren and Nicky Pedersen will know each other very well indeed, and that could be quite a tussle going into the first corner. Fingers crossed that they all sit still for long enough.
Here we go, heat number 5. The green light is on, and the tape tries, and Pedersen's made a good one off gate number 2, but Freddie Lindgren tries to hold the inside line, and now charging through in yellow is Darcy Ward down the backside. What a move into turn number 3. Now Pedersen will try the inside switch, but that was a bold move from Darcy Ward, and here comes Nicky Pedersen. Great speedway here between Ward in yellow, Pedersen in blue. It's Lindgren in red, and Dennis Anderson, the reserve, is trailing at the back, but that was a hard-fought move and a hard-fought battle with Darcy Ward leading the way here.
Yeah, Ward had to work very hard there, didn't he? He didn't quite get it. Nicky Pedersen was good off the start again, and Ward was able to get up the inside. Pedersen responded, and it got tight as they completed the first lap. Ward out in front, he can't relax because Pedersen's really pushing hard in second place. Look at this, Pedersen's there. Ward on the back wheel, Pedersen pounces. Oh, into the last corner, fabulous move from Pedersen. Can Ward turn it off?
Down to the line!
Oh! So close, so very close. Can't quite see who got the win there. Fantastic end to the race. Ward looked like he had it under control and then just lost momentum. Here we see it again.
Ward.
Whoa, that's tight.
Oh, my goodness. Yep, just watching the monitor
Maybe
here in our commentary box.
Maybe Pedersen just on the outside, but that's awfully tight.
Well, the referee will watch this before.
What a speedway
giving the
race.
verdict. Brilliant, absolutely. And Nicky was so fast, he wouldn't give up. Tried that line. It was when Ward went on one wheel down the back straight. That's what did it. That allowed Pedersen the gap.
Just killed his momentum momentarily.
Yeah.
Pedersen then charged up the inside. Ran wide, of course, because he went into narrow. Ward then squared the corner off. And we're still waiting for the result, but smashing Speedway again in Heat 5. Ward and Pedersen desperately wanted to win the race. Very difficult to split them. I fancy it might just be Pedersen.
Let's see.
It's tough to call, Nige. Really tough to call that.
Can't have a dead heat in FIM meetings. Remember that. That's part of the rules. You cannot have a shared heat.
That is so difficult to split,
heat.
though.
Yeah.
So difficult to split. Possibly Pedersen, but well, he never threw the towel in. He's got big smiles on. It was a good ride, and he reckons he's got the 3 points. So.
Yeah.
Ward having to wait.
Nicky Pedersen's got it. That's the stadium announcer that has just called it. Nicky Pedersen has just got it on the line with a sensational speedway race ahead of Darcy Ward. What a heat that was. Here's confirmation of the result then. Nicky Pedersen the winner, Darcy Ward second, Freddie Lindgren third, Dennis Anderson at the back, and your instinct was correct, Kelvin, looking at the monitor here in our commentary position. Nicky Pedersen just nicked it and moves on to 4 points now overall.
Yeah, it was a terrific ride. Got to say, he made a good start from gate 2 initially, and then Ward had the better speed to get to the front. We'll see it again. Looking at Ward coming from the outside. Real tussle initially between Lindgren and Pedersen. Pedersen then lets the bike run to the middle of the track, and Ward squares it off and gets to the front. And for all intents and purposes, you would have thought that Ward would have had the speed then to hang on out in front to pick up 3 points, but Pedersen had other ideas. This is a great effort from the 3-time world champion. Just digging in there and finding the extra speed on the last lap going through that last corner. He comes in narrow, so inevitably he has to run wide. And on the charge line, foot off the foot brake, desperately trying to hang on to it. Really tight. Ward with just a couple of points from his first 2 rides, but you know that he's going to be competitive all night long. Great speedway, really enjoyed that.
Yep, good stuff. Heat number 5. We're up to heat 6 now, but Nicky Pedersen still has that burning desire to be at the very top of the sport. 37 years of age, great to see. the ultimate professional as well, Nicky Pedersen. Heat number 6, Chris Harris goes off the inside in red here. Jari Campbell very, very fast in his opening ride. Goes off gate 2 in blue. Christoph Kasperzak, gate 3 in white, who hasn't done a race yet because he touched the tapes. And Andreas Jonsson going off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, and Andreas Jonsson, a crowd favourite. He looked pretty useful behind Woofenden in his opening ride. Was charging hard throughout the 4 laps. Kasperzak will be keen to sit still. Got to sit still. He's put himself under pressure by touching the tapes in his first ride. And he's been in pretty good form. He needs to come up with a big ride now.
Yep, here we go then. Heat number 6 it is, and it's a good start from Hampel, but Harris off the inside. Super ride from Chris Harris, and now coming up the inside is Andreas Jonsson in yellow, but Harris has that lead. Great Britain's Chris Harris holds the middle line. He did ride better in Prague, riding with more confidence, and Kasperzak comes through into second place now. Andreas Jonsson goes wide. He's not giving up. Hampel is battling away as well. Great speedway again here in Melilla tonight.
What a fabulous effort this is from Chris Harris. Such a competitive race, and the Brits out in front showing really good speed. Didn't make a really good start initially, but then the bike pulled him like a train to the first corner. He's now got company. Andreas Jonsson, the Poles are battling for third, but AJ, a crowd favourite, with just over a lap to go up the inside, coming hard. Terrific last lap in prospect. Oh, tight going through that last turn.
Down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. It's Chris Harris of Great Britain. What a performance in a top quality heat.
Yeah.
Chris Harris with a victory. He nods the seal of approval as he goes over the finish line. It's been a tough season for that man so far, but my goodness, he is back, and how, with a wonderful victory for Chris Harris of Great Britain in heat number 6.
Yeah, well, that's fully deserved. He's had a hard time in the GP series so far, and it was quite tight there. Hampel just hanging on in front of Kasperzak for third place, but all credit to Chris Harris there. That was a very competitive race. They were really having a go behind him, and then Jonsson got clear and put him under a lot of pressure as they started the last lap. Just killed his momentum by just overdoing it, but Chris Harris showing great speed. And that'll be a big boost for that team.
Yeah, as you say, he has struggled so far this season on his return to the Grand Prix series, but my goodness, that was a magnificent performance from Chris Harris of Great Britain to get the 3 points on the board. It moves him on to 4, and he's well and truly in contention for a semi-final place here in Melilla tonight. And when you look at the calibre of the opposition as well, it's a brilliant victory from Chris Harris.
Yeah, tapes are up. Not quite such a long pause this time, and Harris on the inside lets the bike run to the middle of the track. Jonsson makes a good move in the first corner to get himself into second place. This is a bit later in the race, and we've got 2 races in one here. The Poles are scrapping for a point out of the back between Kasperzak and Hampel finally gets that, and it's a dreadful start to tonight's meeting for the former leader of the World Championship. Kasperzak failed to score from his first 2 rides. But super stuff from Harris.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Chris Harris. 4 points for him. There's a clutch of riders on 4 points now. Jonsson, Harris, Nicky Pedersen and Jari Campbell all on 4 points apiece. And we are seeing some fair old action here at Melilla, the G&B Arena, and the home of Dakarna in the Swedish Elite League. And we build up now to heat number 7. Greg Herbie Hancock going off the inside. A man who is based in Stockholm during the summer months, goes back to the USA during the winter. Matti Zegar, a man very much on form. He goes off the gate number 2 position in blue, winner a couple of rounds ago. Hancock off the inside, then in red. Gate 2 in blue is Matti Zegar. Gate 3 in white, Troy Batchelor and Chris Holder going off the outside in yellow.
Yeah, track conditions will be changing quickly. It's warm out there and it's still breezy and the sun's still beating down on the track, so it'll be drying out. Parts of the track are really quite slick now, so gearing and ignition and jetting is going to be all important to keep your bike working really well. Hancock, of course, has been so good this season once again, really showing great form. Zegar in gate 2 has been brilliant. Troy Batchelor struggled in his opening ride coming out of gate 3, and Holder just got pipped to the post, didn't he, by a great effort from Bier in his opening ride. So, yeah, be interesting to see what Hancock can do on the inside here, because he's normally a real good trapper.
Yep, here we go then. with heat number 7. The green light is on.
Oh, long pause.
And now Hancock up to that first turn, and Holder is going to go wide here. The man in the yellow helmet colour, Chris Holder, is going to try the high line down that back straight. Zagar is third, but Hancock holds the line. He's got that lead. Holder is a good friend of Hancock, but all the friendship goes out of the window because they're rivals here in this race. Holder's gone wide. That allows Zagar the opportunity to go up the inside, but Holder's got speed. But the lead here is with Greg Hancock, twice World Speedway champion, 1997 and 2011, and he's kicking on nicely here now.
Yeah, good start from Hancock, and he's pretty smooth out in front. Holder's been working hard, even though he made that half a mistake. Zagar wasn't quite managing to pounce, and the track's gone pretty slick, and it's looking like it's a touch more difficult to overtake at this stage of the night. This is a great ride from the American, a third place first time out, and this is an impressive ride.
Well, this is what he's all about. Greg Hancock, at the age of 44, takes the checkered flag comfortably in heat number 7, ahead of Chris Holder, who looked to threaten early on. But that was a great ride from Hancock. Zagar in third place there, and Troy Batchelor at the back. But 3 big points for Greg Hancock, joint series leader ahead of tonight with Ty Woffenden, of course. And now he'll go a point clear of Ty Woffenden in the World Championship race, although Woffenden is out in the next heat for his race in hand when it comes to the title race. Hancock the winner, Holder second, Zagar was third with Batchelor at the back, and Kelvin, that was textbook Greg Hancock. That's what he's all about. Super smooth start, brilliant.
Yeah, it really was very professional. He's on to 4 points. There's a clutch of riders on 4, right down to 5th place. And yeah, the veteran American has ridden brilliantly. He's done it so often this year. Slow start to the night and then responds with a really classy ride. He's on the inside here and gets to the first corner. I thought maybe Hold might be able to get round the outside of him, but he can't quite there. It's quite a tight back straight. And with Zagar getting into third place, with Chris Holder slotting into second place quite nicely. Holder's really quite threatening in the early part of the race, but Hancock rides such a clever line and covers all the moves. Holder cannot make his way through. Can't use the inside because it's a slick now, but it's a good effort from the Australian. He's on 4 points as well. Very competitive after a couple of rides each, but Hancock, terrific as ever.
6 riders on 4 points each now.
Yeah.
Hancock's one of them with that race win. Travis McGowan, the former rider, of course, in his pit corner once again. And Chris Holder, consistency, 2 second places tonight.
Yeah, and race wins are going to be vital. We see it so often as they come to the end of the 20 races. The countback scenario for going into the semi-finals. If you haven't got a race win, you can often miss out. If you've got 8 points but you haven't quite managed to win a race, that can actually mean that you miss out on the semi-finals. World champions out here now, Nigel. He was very impressive in his first ride.
Yep, Ty Woffenden, the man in the blue helmet colour. Peter Young, the wild card, will go off gate number 3 here. I think there was a case for a lot of riders to be the wild card here tonight. The Swedish boys, of course, Peter Young, Linus Sundström, Dennis Andersson, who are the reserves tonight as well. There was a clutch of riders that perhaps felt they had an opportunity to push for the wild card tonight. Pierre goes off the inside. Ty Woffenden goes off gate number 2 in blue. Peter Young, gate 3 in white. Niels Christian Iversen, a race winner in his opening ride.
Yeah, well, there's 3 race winners here, Nige. With Pierre on the inside as well. He was fast too, so this is a terrific racing prospect. Woffenden, though, he just seems to be so full of confidence. He's doing it so easily. And keep an eye out for the champion coming out of gate 2. Iversen on the outside. He's looking for a really big night. He wants to win a Grand Prix again. He won a couple in the second half of last year's series. And I know that he's desperate to get back onto the rostrum once again.
Here we go then with heat number 8 in Manila. And it's a smooth start from Kenneth Pierre off the inside. Woffenden goes wide. Young comes up the inside, the wild card. Iversen's wide. There's no room down the back straight. Oh my goodness. Kenneth Pierre holds line. Iversen puts it on the line. A wonderful move from the Dane to come around his fellow countryman. Super speedway from Niels Christian Iversen to get the better of Pierre. And Woffenden is relegated to 3rd.
What a ride from Niels Christian Iversen. You had to be very, very brave to do that. 3 abreast down the back straight on the opening lap. lap. He powered to the front. Woofenden, the world champion, now up the inside of Kenneth Pierre. Lifts slightly, gets the better of the Dane. They're neck and neck down the back straight. And Woofenden now stamps his authority on second place. But Niels Christian Iversen looking fabulous. But Pierre's not done. He's now back into second place.
Real battle for second spot. Woofenden's going to come up the inside now, but Pierre's closed the door. Pierre's got plenty of experience. Iversen's going to win it. It's going to be a Danish 1-2. Niels Christian Iversen with a stunning ride in heat number 8 down that back straight. I'm sure they must have just all closed their eyes and hoped for the best. What a race that was.
Had to breathe in. Had to breathe in down the back straight because there wasn't a lot of racing move. How brave was Niels Christian Iversen to just charge through, allowed the bike to run really deep into turns 3 and 4 in the opening lap and found that little bit of extra grip and got himself to the front. Hugely impressive race from the Dane. Pierre was fabulous as well, battling hard with Ty Woofenden.
Well, it does mean that Iversen now is the clear leader of the Grand Prix on 6 points. He is an unbeaten rider, Pierre on 5, and then a host of riders on 4 points apiece. Great stuff here.
Well, that was a terrific ride from Niels Christian Iversen. I can't wait to see the replays of when they went down the back straight because there wasn't a lot of room at all. Here we see it. Tapes up and they all charge towards the first corner. It's Pierre on the inside initially and then Woofenden, and look at this, 3 abreast as they go down there, but Niels Christian Iversen will not give in here, just finds that little bit of extra grip coming off the corner. Oh my goodness, it's Woofenden that's the meat and the sandwich there, and how on earth they didn't collect each other is a miracle in itself. Iversen will be preparing, of course, because he comes out in the very next race as well. Pierre on the inside, that is really tight, but what an effort. Iversen then hits the front and clears off. Woofenden got into second place, but you've got to say this was a really intelligent move late on in the race where Pierre got the better of the champion and then closed the door all the way down the back straight to hang on to second place. But Iversen, back-to-back wins, flying tonight.
Well, good stuff here tonight in Melilla then, and Chris Harris, no doubt he'll be a happy man, returning to the winner's position in the GP Series, and he is with Jason Harold.
Well, Chris Harris, that was an absolute jet-propelled start. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I made a reasonable getaway, and there was a tight first one, but I managed to go in front and sort of control the race a little bit from there.
You are somebody who doesn't always believe in coming to watch or coming to take part in practice. You rode last night for Coventry in the UK. Do you think that helps you? Your momentum's carried forward?
Yeah, I had a reasonable meeting yesterday, and I've never been the best of practices. You know, I tend to get bored a bit easy just going around in a circle chasing myself. So, yeah, no, I prefer to go out and just have competition. And, you know, obviously it's good to practice sometimes, but for me, I'm one just want to go out and race and worry about everything else later on.
There's been some great racing out there. Has the track changed much in the 2 rides that you've had?
Yeah, it has a little bit. I was not riding the right lines in the first one, but we made a few changes and the bike was definitely better. So, yeah, we'll just keep it going.
All right, Chris, good luck. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm delighted for Chris Harris. He's had a really torturous time so far this year, and that was an excellent ride. He's made a conscious decision not to come and practice, ride for his club on Friday nights and then fly in and just get on with it. And so far, it's paying off. You know, Prague, he was unfortunate with his first ride, but then rode a lot better in the next 4. That's a great ride in his last ride.
Well, let's hear what Chris Holder has to say about the night so far with Jason.
Well, Chris Holder, it's sometimes getting a bit harem-scarum out there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the way it is around here. It's a good track for racing, as you've seen. There's been some really good races going on, but yeah, it's going good so far, so let's keep it going.
There's a clutch of riders, and again, we've got a lot of riders who really don't want to take the lead in this championship, but likewise tonight, a bunch of you all on 4 points.
Oh, we all want to take the lead, but it's a bit easier said than done. But it's going good, I can't complain. So just bang in the points, get to the semi, and you've got to make a final time.
How is the track out there for you?
The track's good. It actually looked really grippy in the beginning, but it didn't really ride that grippy. So it caught a few of us out, and I had a bit of spin up a bit too much, and then made a change. It was better, but I'm not quick enough just yet, but I'm getting there.
A long way to go in the meeting, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah, Holder is a quality rider, of course, being a former world champion, and I'm sure he'll be working hard to find that key to conditions. It did look like it could ride a little bit grippy in the corners. The straights were rock hard, But with this sun on it, it's drying out rapidly, and it's riding pretty slick at this stage. Look how it's changing, isn't it? Woofenden, after 4 rides, had a couple of points lead, and now it's all changed once again.
Yep, level again where we started at the beginning of the meeting. 50 points apiece.
As you
Pedersen
were.
48, Ward 47, Zegart 46. Holder well and truly in there. Kasperzak hasn't scored a point tonight. And Niels Christian Iversen, the big riser in the charts, pop pickers, moves into the 8th position tonight. A big mover and shaker here in Melilla tonight, Niels Christian Iversen.
Yeah, he was a big mover and shaker in that last ride. That was really brave down the back straight, and when he got into the first corner, very busy rider. Niels Christian Iversen rides in 3 leagues and the World Championship, never seems to have many days off at all, but he looked very relaxed earlier on when we bumped into him at lunchtime in Västervik, and so far this evening it's going really well for him.
Yep, very much so. Heat number 9 is coming up, and we've got AJ, Iversen, Nicky Pedersen and Greg Hancock. Now, Nicky and Greg had a bit of a, shall we say, a discussion after a track incident in Prague where...
Forthright discussion.
Yeah, Nicky was a bit harsh, but hey, that was Speedway, and there is history between these two boys, but I'm sure they're professional enough to just go out there and focus on the job in hand with big World Championship points up for grabs here.
You have to. If you start worrying about one competitor too much, it can just divert your energies away from what the real prize is. They're both former world champions. They know what it's all about. Vastly experienced, both of them. Pedersen battled really well. That was a really good ride last time out where he got the better of Darcy Ward. And as we said after his first ride, although he finished 3rd, you can never write him off. He always keeps pushing right to the checkered flag. Hancock responded superbly. Had a 3rd place first time out, and then comes up with a textbook ride to pick up the 3 points to move on to 4 points. Hugely competitive meeting again. Kind of expected it tonight, and we fancied also that we could see some spectacular speedway. And after 8 races, I think it's living up to that.
Very much so. Some good stuff here tonight in Melilla. And good to be back here for the World Championship after an absence of last year. And we see Andreas Jonsson preparing for action here in red. Very popular with the fans here from his time with Dakar. Hugely popular rider. And it is a terrific lineup here in heat number 9. What a race to look forward to. Can anybody beat the unbeaten man, Niels Christian Iversen?
Well, plenty of race winners coming out here, Nigel, and as you rightly say, it's a very competitive lineup. Niels Christian Iversen is the unbeaten rider, and coming out of gate 2, he might find it tough because Pedersen and Hancock have been flying. Jonsson hasn't won a race, but it's certainly been very competitive. There are 7 riders on 4 points after a couple of rides. That's quite extraordinary, with Bjerre and Niels Christian Iversen on 6 and 5 respectively, so the Scandinavians are dominating things out front, but yeah, heat 9 looks really tasty.
Yep, quite a lineup here then for heat number 9, and Melilla, Nicky's physiotherapist, trainer watching on down in the pits area tonight. The ultimate professional, as we say. Nicky gets his fitness just as important as his machinery, really. Treats them both with the equal importance, and that is the way forward for modern day speedway riders, it's fair to say. As we look at heat number 9, Iversen unbeaten so far, Pedersen, Hancock and Jonsson all on 4 points apiece. We've got 2 former world champions here, potential world champion of the future as well. It's a mouth-watering lineup, and it's heat number 9, and it's coming up in a moment here at the G&B Arena. Yeah, heat number 9 coming up. Some good speedway here in the G&B Arena so far on a beautiful sunny evening. Andreas Jonsson goes off the inside in red. The unbeaten Niels Christian Iversen off gate number 2 in blue. His fellow Dane Nicky Pedersen, gate 3 in white. And Greg Hancock outside yellow. Quite a lineup. The big names are here. Big points on the line. Great racing prospect, heat number 9, Kel.
Yeah, exciting lineup. Really exciting lineup. Niels Christian Iversen, the top Dane of late. Nicky Pedersen won't like that. He'll want to try and get one over there. There'll be rivalry between the 2 Danes on gates 2 and 3. Keep an eye out for Jonsson on the inside. And the American Hancock, who won really nicely in his previous ride. You need to find something special from the outside.
Here we go with Heat 9 then. The tapes went up a little bit quicker there than they have been doing. And Hancock from gate number 4. Greg Hancock down the back straight. Pedersen's in there. Jonsson still in the mix. And the previously unbeaten Niels Christian Iversen is at the back. But that was textbook Greg Hancock from gate number 4. Smooth getaway. Went wide. And now Iversen still in contention, battling with Jonsson for 3rd place. But Kelvin, you can only take your hat off to the man in front, Greg Hancock.
Yeah, absolutely out of the top broad draw. It's not easy from gate 4 here, but he made it look really ridiculously easy. Just swept around the first corner, and look how fast he is. He's just cleared off out in front. Pedersen's doing a decent job in 2nd place. Niels Christian Iversen now has worked overtime to get himself into 3rd place because Jonsson hasn't been slow tonight. Iversen charging hard in 3rd place, but what can you say about Hancock? Classy once again in front.
Well, Hancock has said it's all the top machinery in the GP, but it's whether you are together with that bike on one night. And Hancock is certainly happy with his machinery tonight. A 2nd successive win. He leads the World Championship as well after that. And that is great stuff from Greg Herbie Hancock of the USA.
Well, he's doing it the easy way. He's hitting the front and just literally powering away. And he had so much speed there, they had no answer at all. Pedersen tried all he could in 2nd place, but could not land a blow. Really, really lovely ride from Hancock.
Hancock, the race winner there, and puts him on to 7. Nicky Pedersen, 2nd place with Niels Christian Iversen in 3rd. His first defeat of the evening. Great stuff, and it means that Hancock and Iversen lead the GP, 7 points apiece. And Nicky Pedersen is on 6. And by the way, fans in Great Britain who love Greg Hancock from his time in the UK with Cradley and Coventry, of course, Greg Hancock, Reading and Oxford. He does make a rare appearance in the UK at the Monster Energy FIM Speedway World Cup for the USA at Kings Lynn on the 26th of July. Don't miss that.
There'll be a big turnout, and he'll have plenty of fans there, that's for sure. What a first corner this is. Gate 4, long way to go from gate 4. Bike digs in, powers to the front, round there mid-track. He rides on the golden tyre. Very few riders use that, but Greg loves it, and you can see how it's working for him. Great action out the back there, with Iversen getting the better of Andreas Jonsson, who charged up into 3rd place. But Greg Hancock on the 7 points, back-to-back race wins, really is doing what he's done all season long. He has maybe a slightly shaky first ride, and then makes a few tweaks to the kit, comes up with some really impressive performances. Pedersen, as always, battling hard, really scrapping for every point.
Yep, heat number 10 is coming up here then. Terrific crowd back at the GMB Arena. We did miss out on a Grand Prix ride here last year, of course. 2 GPs in Sweden were at the Ullevi Stadium in Gothenburg and at the Friends Arena in Stockholm. We're back at the Friends Arena in Stockholm in September. Terrific venue there. Looking forward to that. And heat number 10 is here now in Malilla. The story of the meeting so far: Niels Christian Iversen unbeaten with 2 rides and 2 wins, but then he's just been beaten for the first time, and Greg Hancock's turned on the style with 2 straight race wins to put himself at the top of the leaderboard and lead the World Championship as well. The wild card is here in Heat 10. Peter de Jong is the man in red who has got a couple of points to his name so far, and let's take a look at your gate positions there. Heat 10 it is. Peter de Jong off the inside. Martin Smolinski, who touched the tapes in his last outing, he goes off gate 2. Matti Zegar needs a big race here off gate number 3. And Kasper Zak off the outside, yet to score a point.
Yeah, Kasper Zak's had a nightmare of a meeting so far. Touched the tapes and then failed to score in the 2nd ride, so he needs to really find something here, otherwise his chances of making the semi-finals will be dead and buried. Zegar not quite as impressive as in Prague, and he needs to turn his fortunes around. I'm not sure if he's changed his equipment. He may have changed his bike, can't quite see. Got Freddie Lindgren looking on, who had a hard race last time. Smolinski, also another rider, desperate for points. He comes out of gate 2, the German.
Yep, here we go with heat number 10. And away, Peter de Jong has made a good one off the inside gate this time. Smolinski's going to try the inside line, but Zegar is coming round in white and comes into 2nd place. And now he's going to try and put pressure on the wild card, Peter de Jong. He has the lead, and Kasper Zak is at the back now. And it's just not Kasper Zak's night, is it? But Peter de Jong has the lead with Matti Zegar 2nd. Smolinski is 3rd, trying to put some pressure on Zegar. But Peter de Jong was absolutely flying away from the inside gate there.
Yeah, fabulous ride from the Swede. He's local. He comes from Vetlanda, which is about half an hour down the road. And he's actually doing himself a lot of justice here. This is a great ride from Smolinski. He's putting Zagar under a lot of pressure. Zagar's having to slam the door shut because Smolinski's hugging the inside. He's going the shortest way around the track and he's nearly into second place. Zagar responds, should just about hang on to second place, but the race is Young's. Absolutely terrific out in front.
Yeah, Peter Young is going to take the checkered flag. There's Swedish flags all around Melilla, waving Peter Young onto victory here at the G&B Arena. The wild card punches the air with delight, gets the better of Zagar, who really seemed to have to work overtime to see off a challenge of Martin Smolinski there.
Yeah, he did.
And Krzysztof Kasperzak pulled up and slowed up towards the end of the race, and quite clearly is struggling. No points so far, but for Peter Young, terrific stuff from the wild card, and he is in contention for a semi-final place right now here in Melilla. Heat number 10, Peter Young wins the race. Good stuff from him. Matty Zagar, who really had to work hard to see off that challenge of Smolinski, and at the back was Kasperzak, a nightmare night for KK. Young on 5, Zagar on 5. They're in the top 8 right now. Smolinski struggling on 2.
Yeah, it was a good battle for second place between Smolinski and Zagar. Zagar had to alter his racing line because Smolinski was getting the better of him around the inside, and Zagar had to protect that and ride a little bit more defence. We see it again. Kasperzak on the outside is having a nightmare. You know, when you consider the form he was in before he had that nasty accident in Germany and Landshut in the pairs meeting, he had the world at his feet. See again, Smolinski actually misses the start there. He doesn't drop the clutch on the right time, but Peter Young does. He makes a jet-propelled start from the inside and he clears off out in front. Zagar and Smolinski battling hard throughout the 4 laps. Watch him here. Smolinski's quite an artist at riding the inside, and he does make Zagar have to think again. Zagar cannot afford to relax and ride in the middle of the track. That man does now. 3 points to his name. He moves on to 5, and that's a good effort.
Certainly is from Peter Young. Now we move on to race number 11, but Peter Young 5 points and in with a chance of a semi-final place. But in heat number 11, we've got 2 British riders, and there's a big night in the UK on Monday when it's the British final at Wolverhampton, and the highest placed rider outside of Harris and Woofenden will go to Cardiff as a wild card from that meeting. Hancock leads the World Championship on 53, Woofenden 3 behind, but he has got this race in hand on Greg Hancock, who won heat number 9. Let's take a look then. Heat number 11 across the grid. It's Ty Woofenden off the inside with Darcy Ward gate number 2 in blue. Chris Holder gate 3 in white. And off the outside in yellow, winner last time out, Chris Harris.
Proper Speedway race. Harris in good form, finding some really good enthusiasm and confidence from his last ride. Niels Christian Leverson looking on. He's nicely placed on 7 points after 3 rides, enjoying the Grand Prix so far. Woofenden just got beaten up a little bit last time when he got relegated to 3rd place. Ward just got pipped to the post, didn't he, by a great effort from Pedersen, and Holder solid so far. Good race this.
Yep, heat number 11, Tate tries, and Holder's made a good one off gate number 3. Woofenden tries to take him wide, and Ward's up the inside, and now Woofenden goes wide. There's 3 abreast down the back straight.
Harris
is up there as well. The lead, though, is with the man in white. Chris Holder holds the line with Woofenden in 2nd place, and Ward's going to have a go on Woofenden, and Harris isn't giving up either. That was so tight down the back straight. How on earth did they all stay on their bike?
Well, it was unbelievable, wasn't it? You know, Chris Holder's done so well. He spoke with the interview with Jason Harold that he needs to make a few tweaks, and this is a very competitive race, and he's riding well out in front. Woofenden's turning it on in 2nd place, looking for a way through. Runs in deep, going to square the corner off and try and get some extra speed as they start the last lap. Good battle out in front. Ward's tailed off with Harris out the back, but you just sense that Holder should just be able to steal this one.
One more go around the outside from Ty Woofenden of Great Britain, but Chris Holder has ridden a beautiful line.
Yeah.
Great stuff from Chris Holder in white. Rider number 23, ahead of Ty Woofenden, the reigning world champion, and Darcy Ward 3rd, with Chris Harris at the back. But again, lively speedway in heat number 11. Down that back straight.
4 abreast. 4 abreast. No, well, it's quite fortunate the track's quite wide. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone. But yeah, there was no racing room at all, and real bravery needed. Total commitment as they went into turn 3 on the opening lap. Great stuff.
Great win for Chris Holder. Moves him on to 7 points as well. Woofenden picks up a point for his efforts, and it's Everson, Hancock and Holder all on 7. Woofenden and Nicky Pedersen on 6 apiece now, and in the race for the World Championship, Greg Hancock is the series leader by 1 point.
Well, that was a really good effort there from Chris Holder. We built the race up, and rightly so, because it's a very attractive lineup. The world champion on the inside makes a good start initially, but Chris Holder, look at this. This is a really good effort. Ward up the inside, no racing room at all as they charge into turn 3, with Harris actually joining the party early doors, but he can't get involved this time, the Brit. Harris fails to score. Holder out on the outside here, coming out of gate 3. It's a really good effort from the former world champion to get the better of the reigning world champion Woffinger, but down the back straight, first time of asking. It really was very tight indeed. Good speedway here. Got to say that it's topsy-turvy. People are taking points off one another, but you can't take your eyes off it.
World Championship warming up nicely. A couple of rounds before the World Cup break to come. We're in Parken in Copenhagen in a couple of weeks' time, and then we're at the British Grand Prix on Saturday, July the 12th at the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff. Tickets going well. If you're watching in the UK and you fancy a night out on Saturday, July the 12th, you could do a lot worse than head to Cardiff for a night at the Millennium Stadium with the best speedway riders in the world.
Biggest speedway meeting in the world. It is a fabulous venue with a terrific turnout. No place like it. The atmosphere is electric. Yeah, don't miss that one. I'll tell you what, we're having quite a meeting here as well. This is a great Grand Prix, such a super speedway track. You just see so many racing lines, opportunities for riders to pass inside and out.
Lindgren off the inside. Kenneth Pierre has looked pretty quick in his opener tonight. Jarek Hampel, gate number 3 in white. Troy Batchelor off the outside in yellow, and it is a wide open GP. How can you predict a winner of this GP when you bear in mind it all goes down to a grand final and 60 seconds of racing? I just don't think you can predict a winner with any confidence here.
Nobody's gone through the card so far. It was Everson after 2 rides, but he then ran a 3rd. Difficult to be super consistent. Very exciting.
Here we go with heat number 12. Can Lindgren get some points on the board? Jarek Hampel from gate 3. Now Pierre at the inside. Kenneth Pierre really battling hard. Down the back straight, 3 abreast again, and Lindgren has to get off the gas. And that allows Jarek Hampel in white to take the lead here. Lindgren has got the better of Kenneth Pierre on the home
3 abreast! Oh! Lindgren out of control. Somehow managed to stay on the bike. Lifted as he went over the start line when he hit a rut. And that really did kill his progress. Cool, he's done well to get back into 3rd place to get the better of Troy Batchelor. Jarek Hampel responding well. This is the class we've become accustomed to seeing from the world number 2. Out in front, a good start from gate 3, but how on earth they all stayed on again, I don't know. Really was unbelievable on the first lap, but Hampel, this is good from him. The Poles will be delighted to see their man out in front. Really going fast.
Massive skill from these riders to get the bike back under control when they're in a bit of trouble, and that was unbelievable stuff. Jarek Hampel's going to take the checkered flag here. Kenneth Pierre 2nd, with Freddie Lindgren 3rd, and for Fredrik Lindgren for 2 points from 3 rides. That is a disastrous night for Lindgren, who's cut down on his racing schedule this year, and it's just not happening for him here at his former home track, Takata. Troy Batchelor punches his handlebars in frustration, but for Jarek Hampel, what a result. And again, 3 abreast down the back straight and coming down the home straight with Lindgren looking like he was going to take the lead. Then he nearly did a 360.
Well, he hit a rut going over the start and finish line, and it literally leapt up underneath him. The bike leapt up underneath him. How on earth they stayed on? Good speedway again.
Yep, Kenneth Pierre 2nd, Freddie Lindgren was 3rd. This is what it means after 3 rides each now. Look at that. Hampel, Everson, Hancock, Holder and Pierre all on 7 points apiece.
Yeah, well, that was a great effort from Jarek Hampel. It was, I don't know if he saw all the action that was happening around him, but he probably didn't want to, because or it spurred him on to win the race, because in the end he won quite comfortably. Early on, it's Hampel on the outside. You've got Lindgren in the meat of the sandwich, has to come off the throttle with Pierre up the inside. It's a really good effort down the back straight. Hampel there, look at Lindgren, he just hit that rut and the bike leapt away underneath him. You can't believe what's happened here. He's just hit a rut going over gate 3 and it's unsettled him. That's allowed Batchelor into 3rd place, but somehow Lindgren recovers and gets himself back into 3rd place. But that man now has 2 wins to his name and he moves on to 7 points. And that's a really good effort for Hampel, because it's been bitterly disappointing, particularly last time after a heavy crash in Prague. Polish world number 2 looking good tonight.
Yeah, good speedway here. Terrific crowd at the G&B Arena. We have got an interval now after 3 rides apiece where there'll be some grading done on the track surface, but it's a beautiful sunny evening here in the deepest forest of Sweden, and we are in a terrific venue. It's a natural racetrack, as we said at the start of the night, and the fans are enjoying themselves, and quite rightly so, Kelvin. It's a lovely evening and some terrific speedway.
Yeah, yesterday it was awful. We've had a complete reverse, and it's to our good fortune that the sun has come out today and people genuinely enjoying it. Really healthy crowd and a really good atmosphere. They've seen the wild card winner race tonight. I'm sure they'd like to see more Swedish winners, but they know there's speedway in this part of the world. Very strongly followed, a real top sport in this part of the world.
Let's hear from Greg Hancock now with our man Jason Harold.
Well, Greg Hancock, a third to start with, then 2 classy victories. What did you change on the bike?
Well, you know, the small minor changes and just, you know, put a little bit more focus into the start and reading the track the correct way. So it's going better and better.
In the early stages, it seemed that the referee was holding the tapes for quite a while. Did that look like it from your point of view on the grid?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everybody knows this referee is pretty notorious for holding the tapes longer than others. So you just got to learn to work with it. You never know when he's going to throw a quick one on you either.
What's it like out there? How are the track conditions changing, though?
Well, you know, I mean, after yesterday, the weather was so bad, and today you've got exact extreme opposites. We got a lot of wind, we got sunshine as well, so it's drying out really fast. But they built a great racetrack, and you've seen there's been some pretty close racing.
Well, the track's fast, so are you, Greg. Well done.
Yeah, good-looking rides from Greg Hancock, back-to-back wins. Said he's been able to focus in on the starts a little bit more, and he's been doing that throughout the Speedway Grand Prix this season. And when he has a bad ride, he seems to be able to bounce back immediately and produce some race wins. I don't think he's ever won in Sweden. He's been living in Sweden for some period of time. He's been twice the world champion, but has never won a Grand Prix in Sweden. I'm sure he'd love to do it here this evening.
Well, let's hear what Ty Woffenden has to say now. He's with Jason Harold.
Ty Woffenden, it's hard going out there tonight. Track seems to be changing by the race.
Yes, tough place to come. You know, everybody's so fast around here, and it's a good racetrack. So I'm sure you can see that from the racing. But 6 points already, so we need a few more to secure a spot in the semi.
It's the same for everybody tonight. Everybody's there on that block of points, not only for trying to get to the semis, but also trying to battle it out at the top. But you're still hanging in there.
Yeah, it's great. You know, it's good when you can come to a Grand Prix like this, and you know, everybody's racing as best they can to try and pick up as many points as they can. And yeah, it's good racing, good guys that you're racing with the majority of the time. So yeah, we're just loving it.
It looks very, very tight when not only you come out the first couple of bends, but heading into turn 3.
Yeah, I've had a few close ones, but it's what I do for a living, so I love it when it gets close.
Good to see you, Ty. Thank you.
Great attitude that Woofenden's got. It's been a complete transformation in him from early on this year, and looking like he's just relishing the challenge of defending his world championship. Really looking forward to it. And I think the word I look at him, he's just enjoying it now.
He is.
And hence his performances have improved dramatically.
Yeah, riding well, enjoying speedway. And Niels Christian Iversen has had a good night so far as well. He's one of 5 riders on 7 points, and he's with Jason.
Niels Christian Iversen, you and 4 of the riders on 7 points. Happy with your performance tonight?
Yeah, pretty good so far. The last one wasn't as good as the previous, but yeah, I just gotta see if I can make up for it in the next one.
That second ride of yours, it looked quite death-defying. You seem to come from nowhere to hit the front.
Yeah, it was tight on into turn 3, but yeah, they just left me enough room to get around there. So it's good when you just get that bit of room, you know, and you don't get stopped completely.
Gate 2 didn't seem to work for you in your third ride, or was it just a slow start?
It was a bit of a slow start for me, but I was out straight after the track grading, and it was a little bit different than it was in my race before. So we'll see if we can adjust a little bit extra for the next one, and hopefully I'll be back on the pace.
All right, thank you, Niels. Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, very determined rider. Rides a lot, as we mentioned earlier on this evening, and he's having a good Grand Prix. Looking like he's very focused on making sure he gets through to the top 8 tonight, but I think he's looking for a win, Nige. He's the sort of rider that, having won a couple of Grand Prix last year, he'll be looking to win more.
Yep, Hancock the series leader on 53 with Woffenden on 52. Nicky Pedersen 50, Zagar 48. And lower down the standings we see Kasperzak in danger of dipping out of the top 8.
You can't believe that. He had an 11-point lead after 2 rounds and looking like he was completely in complete control of the World Championship.
Well, a Danish interview now for Kenneth Bier, for our colleagues. Ib Sobi, our good friend, doing the interviews here. And Kenneth Bier looked really quick in his opening ride, Kelvin.
Yeah, but generally looking much better. The injury, he's healing well now, and he's beginning to get his fitness back and his confidence back, probably more importantly. And he's looking pretty good tonight. It's been a good Speedway meeting. You know, we're witnessing some proper Speedway here. This track allows riders the opportunity to come through. It's not just about making starts here. You have to have a fast motorbike and be very aware where you need to position yourself on the track. So I think, you know, after 12 races, we've seen some good stuff. I'm sure we're going to see plenty more.
Yeah, I'm sure we are as well. The race for the World Championship still a subplot behind all this as well. 5 rounds, round number 5, and then after Copenhagen in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be halfway through the World Championship Series. So looking forward to the Parken in a couple of weeks' time. Always good Speedway there on that temporary track, and then Cardiff, of course, as well. No doubt this man will be looking for a big performance in Copenhagen as well, in his home country.
Oh, he'd love to do that. He's had some success in the World Championship in previous years, but then has been blighted by injuries. But it's nothing like winning your home Grand Prix, and the Parken is a special stadium, the national stadium in the capital city. Great place to win a Grand Prix. But of course it comes with lots of expectation and pressure, so it's tough for the Danes there. But, you know, don't rule him out, but don't rule this man out. You know, Nicky's won 3 world titles. Last one in 2008. Probably feels it's about time he could win the 4th one.
Well, there's no reason why he shouldn't win another world title, is there, Kelvin, really? Because, of course, it's only 3 years since Greg Hancock won his last world title at the age of 41. So there's no reason why Nicky Pedersen can't do it again.
The age is not the issue at all. I think it comes down to a bit of good fortune, finding the right setup and really getting on a run of form that carries you through. He would dearly love to win here this evening, but I know he would love to win in Copenhagen. Always seems to find it. No, he hasn't, and he always seems to find it just a little bit too much pressure there, and has hit the tapes and things haven't quite gone his way there. But Pedersen is a remarkable character. He never throws the towel in, and you can't rule him out. He's been charging hard here this evening. It's going from the outside in heat 13.
Yeah, looking forward to heat number 13. Troy Batchelor out here in red. It's just not been his night, has it? A miserable night for him so far. The World Championship will remind you of the standings, and look how tight that is. It's brilliant for the competition, great for the World Championship, and I think it's going to keep the interest going right until we arrive in Torren in October, Kelvin.
Could very well be. It's so competitive, and you know, the riders are really all on good form there, and it's going to be difficult for somebody to really stretch a lead, and you know, particularly conditions like this when it's a little bit slick, it's very difficult to then hit the front. Pedersen's crew keenly looking on, his trainer, physiotherapist there once again, desperate for him to do well. Comes from the outside, track prepared once again, a little bit of water on to keep the dust down. Great racing, I'm sure, coming up in heat 13.
So here we go with heat number 13 then. Troy Batchelor looking to get on the points trail for the first time tonight. Peter de Jong off gate number 2 in blue. Chris Harris gate 3 in white. And Nicky Pedersen, triple world champion, going off the outside in yellow. And speaking of Nicky, no doubt he'll be part of the Danish side that will ride in event 2 of the Monster Energy FIM Speedway World Cup at Vastavik, which is about an hour or so from here on the 29th of July, up against Sweden and Czech Republic and Latvia as well.
Yeah, it should be a good meeting. Not far away, as you rightly say.
We popped into there,
we did. We had
didn't we?
Quick look at the track. It's a big, wide bowl of a track. Should be some super speedway there. Don't miss the World Cup, and that'll be the second event. Harris has had a better night. Failed to score last time. The wild card, Peter Young, is having a good night. He's had a second, a win, and a last, so he's well and truly involved. Batchelor's struggling. Pedersen on the outside, what can he do from there?
Here we go with heat number 13. It's a good start from Batchelor. Oh, what a switch from Pedersen. From the outside to the inside. He tried it, but it didn't quite work to get the lead. But it's still a clever move to get second spot right now. Troy Batchelor yet to score a point tonight. He has that lead. Nicky Pedersen is second. Third place right now in blue is Peter Young and Chris Harris at the back. But Nicky Pedersen, that was a bold move. And what about Batchelor, Kelvin?
Well, out of nowhere, failed to score so far. The track's gone very greasy. It's hard and slick, and they've watered quite extensively in the interval. And you see the riders were sliding around a little bit. It's difficult to really make it work. It will get a little bit better. Batchelor's in front, but don't rule out Pedersen. Pedersen's working hard in second place with Peter Young in third. But this will be a great result for Batchelor if he can pull the win off.
Yep, it certainly will. Troy Batchelor, who's been annoyed with himself up till now. This is a terrific result for Troy Batchelor, who we've seen ride well in the World Cup for Australia before. He had a decent GP at Finland as well, and he's got the checkered flag, and he's delighted with that victory. Nicky Pedersen went from hard on the outside to up the inside line to get second spot there.
Yeah.
And Peter Young was third, but always after a break, after an interval in a GP, on a night like this with the sun shining down, they've put a lot of water on it, and track conditions have changed significantly here in Melilla. Yep, absolutely. Heat 13, Troy Batchelor with a super win. Nicky Pedersen was in second place there. Peter Young was third, and Chris Harris at the back on that occasion. And one man who will be breathing a huge sigh of relief is Troy Batchelor with a win unto his name. But that couple of points for Nicky is good enough for a second, for a semi-final appearance.
Well, you hope so. It's awfully tight tonight, so you can't rest on your laurels, even if you've got 8 points and a heat win, as the three-time world champion has got. Very early decision from Pedersen to switch to the outside. They've watered, no grip from the outside, spun up violently, and then literally just switched to the inside. Batchelor in the box seat this time. Conditions favoured him. Tapes are up. And Peter Young, the wild card on gate 2, he struggles back in third place with Harris, having had a race win and looking good, has failed to score in his last 2 rides. Batchelor will be pleased with this. It's awful if you go through the night without scoring, so a race win for him is good news.
Yep, great stuff from Troy Batchelor. Full credit to him there. Heat 14 coming up, and in this race we have the top 2 riders in the World Championship standings. Batchelor there won't make the semi-finals tonight, but still will be relieved to get a race win under his belt. Now, here we go with Heat 14. Greg Hancock goes off the outside here. He's on 53 points. Ty Woffenden is off gate 3 on 52 points. In the World Championship, up against Christoph Kasperzak, who's yet to score. He's got the inside gate. Could he do what Batchelor did in the previous race?
Wow.
And Freddie Lindgren, who's only got 2 points to his name, he's off gate number 2 as well. A fascinating lineup here for Heat 14.
It is, and Lindgren's been disappointing so far. He's had a good run in the World Championship this year, and this is not what he was expecting in his first home Grand Prix. Back at a club and back at a track he knows so well. He'll be really gutted about that. Kasperzak's been awful so far. He's had a touch tape. He's failed to score. Big race, though.
Yep, it's Kasperzak off the inside. Lindgren, who got a good score in New Zealand. Freddie Lindgren with 13 and 12 in Finland. He's off gate number 2. Woffenden gate number 3 in white. And Hancock, the series leader, outside gate in yellow. Quite a lineup here. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of the Swedish FIM Speedway Grand Prix here from the G&B Arena in Melilla, this round number 5 of 12. It all ends up in Torun in Poland in October to decide the world champion for 2014. We do take a break for the World Cup in July, though, of course. Heat 14 it is then.
Whoa.
And Ty Woffenden's made a beauty off gate number 3. Again, the referee held the tape such a significant amount of time there. Hancock now coming around the outside of Lindgren, and Christoph Kasperzak's nightmare continues. He's trailing at the back, but Ty Woffenden, well, he got a jet propelled getaway there, and Hancock has got so much speed. He's pushing Woffenden hard.
He is indeed, but he ran in a bit tight there and it just killed his momentum. Woffenden made a fantastic start. I thought for a moment he might have jumped it, but he got away with it and he powered himself to the front. Hancock in second place. Track conditions have changed quite dramatically after the track grading and watering, more importantly, after Heat 12. It's very greasy out there and it's difficult to actually move off the line. Kasperzak's given up out the back. He's having a terrible night. When you consider the form he was in earlier this year, that's really frustrating for him, but Ty Woofenden, the world champion, bouncing back in grand style here, Nige.
Yep, riding beautifully, Ty Woofenden, and with this result, it means it's level at the top of the World Championship again. Woofenden 3 points, Hancock 2 points, so it levels it all up at the top of the World Championship. But Ty Woofenden did all his work from the start of that race, and you have to feel for Christoph Kasperzak, because he hasn't finished that race, and I just wonder if the pain is getting too much in that knee injury, and as he drifts out of the top 8, you can but wonder whether he needs an extended break to rest that knee problem. Only he knows that, and his team around him. But a great ride from Woofenden. Greg Hancock was second, with Freddie Lindgren third, only 3 points for Lindgren in his home country. But for Ty Woofenden now, that puts him on to 9, Hancock on to 9. They're top of the leaderboard on the night, and they're top of the World Championship, both of them now.
Yeah, both safely through to the semi-finals on 9 points, and a good effort from both riders. And Woofenden, who had a hard race last time, it's a tough night for Kasperzak. Failed to score so far from 4 outings. It's really a disaster for him when it was in such good form earlier this year. The win in Bydgoszcz in the second round of the World Championship was a sensational result. Woofenden off gate 3 was brilliant here. Almost anticipated it, but got away with it. Look, yeah, he was almost away before the tapes went up, but Wojciech, the Polish referee, allows it to continue. A good ride from Hancock to get round the outside. He's at gate 4 twice tonight, and that's not always the ideal draw here in Melilla. Second place for the American, and both of these two boys out in front on 9 points. Yeah, good speedway from the world champion.
Yeah, there's plenty of drama, plenty of thrills here in Melilla tonight at the G&B Arena.
Track just needs to dry a little bit.
Yeah.
It's gone a bit greasy after heat 12. Championship standings, neck and neck between Woofenden and Hancock. Pedersen on 52, Zagar not quite at his best tonight, back in 48. Looking like a head-to-head between Woofenden and Hancock right now.
But Pedersen within 1 race win of them. It
yeah,
really
it's
is that tight.
So tight. And after Finland, when it all concertinaed up, it's been nip and tuck. We've got a change in the lead for the World Championship, almost heat by heat. Really is very exciting.
It is good to be back here at Melilla as well.
Yeah,
it's
I'm enjoying
such
it.
a unique venue. We're in the middle of the forest here, and over the back of our commentary position we have a small mini training track where the Swedish youngsters go through their paces. It's great to see. There's another one over the back straight as well. We went to Västervik earlier to have a look at the track there, Kelvin, where it brought back a few memories for yourself, and a little training track there at Västervik as well, a motocross complex behind it too. They do have some fantastic motorsport facilities here in Sweden. And look at this for a lineup. 3 riders on 7 points. Niels Christian Iversen off 1, Chris Holder off 2, Jari Campbell off gate 3, and Martin Smolinski going off the outside in yellow. What a lineup, Kelvin.
Yeah, it is. It's very special indeed. Holder was terrific last time when he got the better of Ward and Woofenden to pick up a really impressive win. Started solidly, the former world champion from Australia, and suddenly really turned it on. Iversen charging hard. He's going to be a major threat on the inside, and Hampel back to his best so far.
Here we go with heat number 15, and it's a great start from Hampel off gate number 3. Iversen now holds the inside line. Oh, charging up the inside as well is Chris Holder in blue, but Hampel holds his nerve. It's a great ride from Jari Campbell. Second place in blue here is Chris Holder, and Niels Christian Iversen in third place with Smolinski trailing at the back. But Jari Campbell looks back to his best tonight.
Yeah, he does. He's at gate 3 twice on the spin, and you wouldn't fancy that, but the Polish rider, world number 2, has made light work of it. He's out in front and he's looking really accomplished and fast. Holder was working hard. Iversen throws it away on the water on the outside, slippery and greasy, gets the better of the Danish rider. That's a massive blow for him. Out in front, Hampel should hang on with Holder closing. Bitter disappointment for Iversen.
This will put Hampel on 10, but Holder comes on the inside. Wheel to wheel into turns 3 and 4. Great speedway here in Melilla once again. Will Hampel get to the line? Holder takes it wide. Great speedway all the way in heat number 15.
Fabulous last lap from Chris Holder. I thought Hampel was going to hang on quite comfortably, but somewhere coming out of turn 2 on the last lap that Holder found that extra drive and got right alongside him, and Hampel had to, well, he was desperate through the last turn to hang on to the win. Bits of disappointment for Iversen. Got a feel for the Danish rider there. It's so greasy on the outside where they watered it in the interval, and it got the better of him. But what a battle out in front with Hampel finally hanging on.
Well, extraordinary stuff in that one. Here's how it stands now. Jarek Hampel on to 10 points. Chris Holder on 9. And Iversen is on 7. And you do feel that Iversen has still got a bit to do in his last ride. But that was great Speedway again. Chris Holder really giving it a go and pushing Hampel every step of the way.
Yeah, Hampel makes a really good start initially out of gate 3. He hits the front. It's a good first corner from Holder to get the better of Iversen. Slips up the inside and then gets himself into second place. Hampel really dug in and the bike worked nicely to the first corner. Sweeps in the middle of the track and comfortably to the front. But Holder rides a stormer here. Iversen then runs in deep going into the first corner, and it's just greasy out there and the bike just slips away from underneath him. But Holder from nowhere actually gets to the front here down the back straight on the last lap. And Hampel, desperate to hang on to the win, just about does it coming off the last corner. Exciting Speedway once again. It's unpredictable. It's tough. Iversen now under pressure.
Yeah, and Iversen actually went back to the scene of his fall.
Couldn't believe it, could he?
To study the part of the racetrack where he slid off inexplicably in Heat 15. Drama in the extreme.
Yeah, you can just see how wet it is on the outside there. It hasn't dried and just caught the Danish rider out. Great action out in front. Really enjoying this. This is a treat for us here tonight.
Yep, very much so. Heat number 16 coming up here in Millila. And this race will signify the fourth round of heats. Every rider will have had 4 rides apiece here at the end of this heat number 16. And what a meeting it's been. Jarek Hampel, top of the leaderboard on 10. You've got Wolfenden, Hancock and Holder on 9 points apiece. 3 world champions there behind Jarek Hampel and Nicky Pedersen on 8. So 4 world champions tucked in behind the leader. It's Darcy Ward off the inside. And he needs points, doesn't he? Andreas Jonsson, gate 2 in blue, needing points as well. Bier almost in the semi-finals. He's off gate 3. And Matti Zegar, he could do with a big ride off the outside here.
He could indeed. He hasn't quite found the right setup tonight. He's been in great form and he just hasn't quite nailed it so far this evening. This is a very important ride for the Slovenian who has made the rostrum in the previous 2 Grand Prix. Bier, he's in the box seat. Gate 3, Hampel won from there in the previous race. Can he win here to secure a semi-final spot?
Here we go with heat number 16. They do, of course, have 1 ride each left after this one. Again, another long pause. It's a good start, though, from Ward on the inside. Bier's got a lot of speed. Now Zegar's going to try and come through the middle, and Ward goes onto one wheel, and that allows Zegar through. And Kenneth Bier in second place, and that with Darcy Ward going on 1 wheel down the back straight.
Ward back into second.
Yep,
brilliant ride from the Australian. Bier getting beaten up there. Ward right alongside Zegar. Special Speedway once again. Jonsson now up into 3rd place. Well, riders changing places throughout that first lap and a half. Zegar's out in front, Ward's in the second. Desperate for points, Darcy Ward. Hasn't been able to win races tonight. But you said it, Nigel. Zegar needed a big ride, and he's coming up with one.
Yeah, Matti Zegar will move on to 8 points with this. Ward is going to try everything, but again, it was just down that back straight where Ward just went on 1 wheel momentarily, picked up some drive, and that allowed 2 riders to come past him. Zegar with the win, surely now. The Slovenian, that's a massive result for him. Ward 2nd place, Kenneth Bier was 3rd, and Andreas Jonsson drifting away at the back. 4 points from 4 rides for the Swede, Andreas Jonsson.
Not enough.
A disappointing night for the Swedish contingent here in Millila tonight, Kelf.
Almost silence in the crowd. He's a fan favourite here. And lots of sponsors, lots of guests here being entertained out the back by Andreas Jonsson. And just
Tony Rickardsson golden days are a long, long time ago.
Yeah, can only agree with that. Zegar there out in front. 3 points for him. Very useful.
Andreas Jonsson at the back there. Now, this is how it stands with 1 race each remaining. The battle for the top 8. Iversen just about in there. The leader is Jarek Hampel on 10, with Wolfenden and Hancock top of the world standings now after 4 rides each.
Well, that was a big ride from Zegar at the big moment. He was under a lot of pressure coming into this race. He's on the outside and he had 5 points and doesn't make a very good start. It's really greasy there. He just can't get the bike to dig in. He makes a good move in the first corner. Ward lifts coming off the first corner, and that kills his momentum down the back straight. And Bier and Zager are able to get the better of the Australian, who's had a tough night. At this stage 2 weeks ago in Prague, he was unbeaten, making starts for fun and dominating proceedings. Very different here this evening. He's having a tough time. He's having to work overtime. He gets himself into second place and he rides a hard charging race, Ward. But it's Zager. Zager once again showing really good form out in front and moving on to 8 points, and that's very useful indeed. But Ward and Bier have got work to do.
8 points for Matti Zager, coming good just at the right time, but he's still got another ride to come, remember. And what a lineup we've got in the next heat. Kelvin, just look at your race card there.
Yeah.
Heat 17 coming up. Nicky Pedersen, Ty Woffenden, Matti Zager, Jarek Hampel. Goodness me. Heat 17.
Yeah, I think I'd have to run away if I was in that race. A bit frightening, that one, isn't it?
I mean, how many times have we seen riders go so close to each other? And that tests the skill of riders as well. Some of the boys get out of control and superbly get the bike back under control. And then down the back straight, how many times have we seen tonight where we've had 2 or 3 riders abreast down the back straight?
Yes.
And it is so close that sometimes you think it's going to end in tears.
Yeah, and I think that's an indication of how much they're enjoying conditions. Track conditions are enabling riders to have lots of confidence to ride that close. Best riders in the world, of course, and they have the utmost skill on the bikes. They have to have trust in their fellow competitor to ride that close. But yeah, it's been hugely entertaining, and at times it's been taking your breath away, particularly down that back straight when they've all piled into turn 3, literally handlebar to handlebar. It has been great to watch.
Well, heat number 17 coming up. Jarek Hampel will be in it. He leads the meeting, but he's still got time to speak to Jason Harold.
Well, Jarek Hampel leading the Swedish Grand Prix after 4 rides, 10 points, looking classy out the front. How does it feel?
Well, it's going pretty good now. Feel pretty good on the track. It's nice track prepared, so many lines for the race. And just I need to think about my setup to be quick till the end. That's it.
What do you think has been the difference between the last couple of Grand Prix for you and this one?
I don't know. I don't want to say too much. I always try to do a good job on the track. I try to keep going this time, going pretty well. But still, you know, it's a few races in front of me, so I'm in a good position now. But this is not the end.
I know that you're out next in the next race after this grading break. Thank you, Jarek.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, he's looking good tonight, and it just shows you the sort of character he has, that he's been able to turn his fortunes round tonight after what he would consider to be very disappointing Grand Prix. Prague was a tough night where he had a big accident and it knocked all the wind out of his sails. Pedersen coming up in the next one also.
Let's hear from Chris Holder with Jason.
Well, Chris Holder, before this meeting, you said to us that points were all important to get those semi-final positions, first pick. Are you happy with your night so far?
Yeah, it's going good. You know, still a long way to go. I've got to make the most of my next one off the inside. It's good to be on the inside, but it's quite tough to be on the first corner on the inside because it opens the door up so much. But feeling quick, feeling good, and it's getting better, so I'm stoked.
The track seems to be changing all the time. Is that how it seems from your point of view?
Yeah, for sure. It changes all the time, and you've got to be on top of it. And you can be quicker as one race and then slow as hell the next one. So it's definitely it's more than just swinging your leg over it and holding a flat chat.
What's your favourite gate of the night so far?
I don't know. The outside's not so good off the actual jump, but it opens up a lot of options for the first corner. So I'm not going to say anything, but hopefully I get a good choice.
Had a heck of a battle out there with Jarek earlier. It was very close on the run up to the line.
Yeah, I know. I need another couple of metres, and would have been nice. But no, it was good. It's always good to be able to peg him back. He's so fast, especially around here. So, like I said, it's going good. It's getting faster and faster. I just got to make the most of this one, give myself a good shot at it, and then just wrap it up.
Okay, Chris, thank you.
Yeah, he's looking good tonight, Holder. Very consistent. No worse than a second place this evening, and he'll be pleased with that. That's very important on a night like this when very easy to drop points. Plenty of track grading going on, Nigel, and the track's going to be different again now. It almost looks like they've created a little bit more dirt. Riders preparing for the next one. Championship standings, look at that.
Brilliant. That win for Zagar, you know, in that last outing, you know, look what it's done to his overall season.
Wow.
It's 4 points off the lead. Darcy Ward's 5 points off the lead, but unless Darcy Ward goes out and wins Heat 18, he's not going to make the semi-finals tonight. So this is a big 4 heats coming up now, Kelvin. And
pressure on some riders, classy
yeah.
riders, big riders. Ward's just not been at his best tonight. Hasn't made the starts that we saw him make in Prague a couple of weeks back, and that's really made his night much harder than it ought to have been. I do believe, I'm going to go on about this again, the track has changed again. They've created more dirt. It isn't going to be as greasy, and I would think there could be a few more racing lines, and Nicky Pedersen's the one that's got a fresh track every time he's coming out tonight because he drew number 1. He's got the inside gate for a highly competitive, very attractive Heat 17, I would add, with the reigning world champion Zagar, who won a very important race last time, and Hampel, the Grand Prix leader at this stage. Very impressive.
this racetrack, Kelvin, where you've talked about the conditions and you've said that this place had a major overhaul about a decade ago.
Yes.
You've ridden here. Was the track changed to how it was when you raced here?
It was very similar initially. They pretty much just relaid the track exactly as it was.
So it's a similar shape to how it was
Yes,
when you
but then they
raced here.
subsequently changed it.
Ah.
They've actually made the inside curb level with the track because it was a bit tight going in the first corner and there was lots of clashes there, and that's enabled, it's opened it up a little bit, and it's now a really, really good racetrack. It was much too sandy before, and it was loose and it got very rutty and got quite hairy in actual fact. So yeah, it's a big improvement over the previous track. Riders preparing themselves for Heat 17. This could easily be the final, couldn't it? This one, 17. It's just absolute top quality across the tapes. Nicky Pedersen, who makes good starts, sometimes lacks for a little bit of speed, but certainly never lacks for effort. Woofenden looks like he's thoroughly enjoying his speedway once again, so you know he's going to be involved. And Hampel, with 3 wins and a third tonight, is in the box seat after 4 rides. This is what it's all about for me. This is proper speedway we're witnessing here tonight.
He looks pretty cool, Woofenden.
Yeah, so relaxed this evening. Even when he, he dropped a few points and he was on 6 points and he was interviewed, he just, yep, I'm loving it. When it's really tight, that really gets the adrenaline going for me. He just sort of relishes that challenge. So it's exactly how you need to be. Pedersen there, all fidgety and just going through his pre-race routine and see how focused he is. So yeah, here we go for Heat 17. Can't wait.
So Heat number 17 coming up, and what a lineup it is here. When you look at the World Championship standings too, it really is fascinating. There you are. Ty Woofenden and Greg Hancock on 55 points apiece. Nicky Pedersen 52. Matty Zagar, with that race win in Heat 16, propelled himself up to within 4 points of the lead of the World Championship. Ward on 50, but he needs a win in his last ride. So it is all set up beautifully. A stunning evening here in Sweden with the sun beaming down as we look
It's a
at
fabulous evening.
Fantastic Heat number 17.
Yeah, really tasty lineup. 3 of the top 4 in the world in this race, and it really is going to be quite a sight to behold. And with Nicky Pedersen off the inside, it could be awfully tight in that first corner. I couldn't call a race winner here. This is going to be really tough, man.
It certainly is. Riders doing their traditional gardening then to build up to this one. It's fair to say that Woofenden and Hampel are already in the semi-finals. Pedersen and Zagar probably too. But it's a massive lineup, this. Big World Championship points on the line. Heat 17. Here we go with Heat 17. Nicky Pedersen off the inside in red. Ty Woofenden gate 2 in blue. Matty Zagar gate 3 in white. Jarek Hampel, the leader on the night. 10 points. He's off the outside gate. But, Kelvin, you made the point. They've put more water down here during that grading break. And track conditions will play their part once again here in Heat 17.
Yeah, not quite as much water as they put in after Heat 12, Nige. And I think they've generated a little bit more grip on the track, and it might just be better for riders. It might just be a little bit easier to race in the pack, and you might be able to develop some more racing lines. But this is a fabulous lineup, Heat 17. Really tough to call a winner, and they settled down Here we go.
Here we go for heat number 17. This could be a final itself of the Grand Prix. And moving away from the start, it's a beauty from Nicky Pedersen in red. Woffington tries the inside line now. Zagar tries to hit the front. And now Pedersen's got the speed down the back straight. Super right from Nicky Pedersen. Matti Zagar holds second place right now. Ty Woffington is in third place, but Woffington has got speed here. And Woffington is going to have a go in the dirt around the outside. And now he switches up the inside and puts huge pressure on Zagar and moves into second place, but Zagar's going to come back for more as well. Great speedway again here, and Zagar gets Woffington for second.
Yeah, Zagar then replaced the compliment, doesn't he? Gets himself back up the inside. Woffington charging hard in third place. What an effort from Pedersen. This is a spectacular move from him out in front. Woffington up the inside. Now back into second place. Really good speedway. Has Zagar got any answers? Oh no, Woffington slams the door shut. But Pedersen's going to win it.
Nicky Pedersen on his way to victory. That's a wonderful ride from the triple world champion. And Ty Woffington wins a thrilling battle for second place, just ahead of Matti Zagar. They closed the door on each other at times showing that heat, but Nicky Pedersen held his nerve, moves on to 11 points, level with Woffington now after 5 rides apiece. And with Matti Zagar third, that puts him on to 9. And Jara Campbell runs a last
Failed to score, but somebody had to come last, didn't they? And it was such a tough race. Hampel will be gutted, but great effort from Pedersen and a smashing battle for second.
Brilliant, brilliant speedway. Heat 17. Woffington leads the GP with Nicky. 11 points apiece. Hampel is on 10. And what a ride from Nicky Pedersen. Still one of the top riders in the world.
Well, the racetrack is better now. They actually prepared the track well between 16 and 17, and we saw the benefit of it here. Pedersen makes a really good effort here. I thought Zagar was going to be able to stamp his authority, but with Pedersen has a lot of speed down the outside and is pretty much untroubled out in front. This is a great battle. Woffington initially running up the inside of Zagar, but then has to run wide because he's come in so narrow. Zagar then replays the compliment, but Woffington, who's enjoying himself for the confidence, has got a lot of speed himself. There you go. Take that, Matty. I'm coming back through. Fantastic action between the two top men. But Pedersen looking good tonight. He's had a hard night because he's had a fresh track every time he's gone out there, so bike setup has been a challenge, but 11 from 5, that'll do nicely.
Yeah, great ride from Nicky. Ty Woffington in a real battle with Matti Zagar there as well. But Woffington just looks so cool, so relaxed, and just happy and enjoying his speedway.
Yeah, he's not panicking at all, is he? 11, he knows he's in the semi-final, he's in the thick of the action. It's anybody's night right now. You can't call a winner. You know, you've got a rider like Hampel coming in, leading the GP. He fails to score in that race. Tough race, though, you got to say.
Absolutely right. Well, hope you're enjoying our coverage here from the G&B Arena in Melilla. I know there's plenty of alternatives with big sporting events throughout the world right now, but this, the FIM Speedway Grand Prix from Melilla. I'm sure you've enjoyed as much as Kelvin and myself here. Really has been great stuff, and still plenty more twists and turns ahead.
Just seeing a few clutch adjustments there for Everson. Just trying to get the feel on the clutch, absolutely spot on. They can adjust the springs on it in and out. Not quite right. Kenneth Bier keenly looking on. He's had a decent night. He's still involved. Kasper Zach's had a nightmare. He's coming out of gate 2, but this is a huge race for Ward on the inside. Has to win it.
Yep, Kasper Zach has had what's known in the UK as a Western Supermare. Darcy Ward goes off the inside in red. Christoph Kasper Zach, gate 2 in blue. But you do feel for him with that knee injury. Troy Batchelor, gate 3 in white, came good in his last outing. Niels Christian Everson could do with a couple of points here. He goes off the outside in yellow and will be desperate to avoid a repeat of his last outing where he just made that slip.
Yeah, he ran in wide, didn't he, going into turn 1, and it just caught him out with the watering and it slipped off. But Ward's under pressure, hasn't made a start all night. Needs to get to the first corner and do a Pedersen here, doesn't he? Use the inside, get the speed down the back straight and win the race. And Iversen needs to also pick up a couple of points.
Here we go with heat number 18, and Ward hasn't made the start. That has gone to Batchelor, a second successive start. Now Iversen is going to go around the outside, and Ward is relegated here, and Iversen down the back straight just gets the drop on Batchelor. That's a great ride from Niels Christian Iversen, the Great Dane here in the yellow helmet colour, and Darcy Ward is now hunting down his fellow countryman Troy Batchelor, but loses control, and Darcy Ward will not make the semi-final tonight.
Well, what a first corner from Niels Christian Iversen. He really swept round the outside. Gate 4 wouldn't have been his favourite, but he's worked well, recovering from that mistake earlier on, and in fine style. Troy Batchelor's turned on the style in his last couple of rides. He's making it very hard work for Darcy Ward, who's back in third, and it's a really disappointing night for Darcy Ward. Without question, one of the most eye-catching riders in the world. He just hasn't been able to find the starts tonight. There's a battle. He's going to get second here. Yep, he's through into second place.
Niels Christian Iversen is going to take the victory across the line. It's a great victory for Iversen, and Batchelor holds second. Comes back and robs Ward of a point there. And every point vital, and Kasper Zach's nightmare is over for tonight with no points to his name. But full credit to Niels Christian Iversen. That victory puts him on to 10 big points into the semi-finals. No problem at all. Never in doubt.
Never in doubt, have to agree. He would have been so frustrated to have thrown the bike away in his previous ride and when he was in a comfortable point-scoring position, but what a way to respond. You know, just shows you the depth and the character in the man. He comes up with a really big ride. Disappointment for Ward, Nigel.
Yeah, very much so. He let that slip for a third place in the end, and Ward's night is over on 6, but Iversen on to 10, rockets up into the top 8.
Yeah, it's tight, isn't it?
And the top 8 looking pretty much clear-cut right now, with 2 heats to go before our semi-finals, and that was a big ride from Iversen. Full credit to him. And
wow, look what it meant.
Yeah,
look what it
absolutely.
meant. He's enjoying that. Really has, and then buried the ghost of that previous ride where he slipped off and the conditions caught him out. Batchelor makes a great start initially here off gate 3, clamps Ward on the line and kills his momentum completely. Whereas Iversen then allows the bike to run wide in the first corner and uses that little bit of extra grip that they've worked between races 16 and 17. Look at the bike drive off the corner there, really does charge down the back straight, and Iversen looks good out in front. There's a terrific battle for second place. Darcy Ward now squaring the corner up and a long straight and gets the better of Batchelor, but again, as we've seen, when you run in so narrow, you can't turn the bike hard enough, and Batchelor was able to get into second place and snatch that point away. But Iversen 10 points, comfortably in the semi-final. He'll be a threat. He will be a threat because he's fast.
Yeah. He can be a world champion, that fella, Niels Christian Iversen. I have no doubt about that. Recall seeing him in the early days of his British career when he came over as a raw youngster to the UK with Oxford and Newport in the Premier League. He was with the Newport Wasps.
He's come a long way, hasn't he?
He has indeed, absolutely. And full credit to him as we look at heat number 19 now. What a lineup this is as well. Peter Young, the wild card, has a chance of getting into the semi-finals. We've got 3 Swedes plus Chris Holder here. Holder off the inside in red. Peter Young goes off gate number 2 in blue. Freddie Lindgren gate 3 in white, and Andreas Jonsson off the outside in yellow.
Well, you wouldn't have expected the wild card to be outperforming the 2 mainstay Grand Prix stars tonight. They're going to be disappointed with that. Swedes have generally been disappointing this evening, and that's such a shame when they're racing in front of a home audience and they're so keen to do well. Holder's a major danger on the inside.
Here we go with heat number 19 then. It's all very tight going into that first turn. Holder has got the drop in red. Now Lindgren's going high around the outside. Third place is Young, and Andreas Jonsson trailing at the back now. It's Chris Holder with that advantage. This would put Holder onto 12 points, and he would lead the meeting going into heat number 20. That's a great effort, although Lindgren's going to push him hard here, Kelv.
Yeah, that's a great effort from Holder because he hasn't been outstanding tonight. He's had one big ride where he really came up with the business, but apart from that, he's been there hustling away. But as you rightly say, this is a great result for him if he can hang on to it. He's now beginning to pull away. He's got this one in the bag, barring some sort of mechanical drama. Lindgren, the Swedes all falling over each other in second, third and fourth, with Jonsson now coming into third. Great ride from Holder out in front though.
Yeah, and he's not had the best of times in the Polish league. There's a battle for third here. Won't matter, Young and Jonsson. He's struggled in recent times in the Polish league, the Swedish league. Got it right in Denmark in the Danish league meeting, and he's got it right tonight as well. The 2012 world champion, Chris Holder. A fine display, and as Kelvin quite rightly said, he's just gone about his business. Not the most spectacular display of the night with the great racing that we've seen tonight, but he has done a magnificent job. And Chris Holder is through to the semi-finals, and he leads the standings on 12 points.
Yeah, and that's a really good effort. And when you look at his score chart, no worse than second place, and he's the most consistent rider out there this evening. Well, Holder looking good.
Yeah, Chris Holder the winner, with Freddie Lindgren second, Peter de Jong third. Holder rockets up from 6th place to top of the standings after 5 heats. We've just got the one qualifying race to go to establish the semi-finalists, but it's looking pretty much clear-cut now that the semi-finalists are already confirmed.
Yes.
Without the need for heat number 20.
Yeah, Hancock and Bier will be favourites to do the business there. This is a great effort from Holder. He said in his interview with Jason earlier on that he wasn't quite sure what he was going to do in the first corner. He made a good start from the inside. He allows the bike then to drift into the middle of the corner, and he trusts the bike then to actually get enough grip to give him the speed and the momentum he needs to go down the back straight, because you are vulnerable here, because you know that people can maybe get that extra speed. Bit of battling going out the back between Jung and Andreas Jonsson, and it's the wild card that finally gets that 3rd place, and it's a disappointment for AJ. Freddie Lindgren hanging on to 2nd place, but the Swedes have struggled tonight. But Chris Holder out in front, 12 points, he'll be absolutely delighted. And when you consider the state of the World Championship, how tight it is at the top of the table, 12 points is a great return. Top man so far.
Yeah, well, Chris Holder is on 52 points in the World Championship now. It's been a great night for him, and we see here now that Ty Woffenden leads the World Championship on 57, but Greg Hancock has got a race in hand here.
Yeah.
55, level with Nicky Pedersen. Now into the 5th to 8th places. Holder on 52 has made good progress tonight. He's 5th in the world now. He started in 7th and has had a terrific night. And this World Championship Series, you just feel, is just going to fluctuate in a fascinating way between now and Torren in October. Here's heat number 20. Martin Smolinski off the inside. Chris Harris, who had that brilliant race win as a highlight of his performance earlier on tonight. Greg Hancock, 9 points so far off gate number 3. And Kenneth Bier, who has got that 8th and final qualifying spot for the semi-finals. It's just a question of how many points he'll have going into those semi-finals now.
He'll want to keep building on that. You know, he's had a tough season so far. Niels Christian Eversen's enjoyed himself. Of course, Hancock can join Holder on 12 points here, and he'll want to. It's so tight at the top of the table, he'll want to keep the pressure on Woffenden, that's for certain. But here we go. Yep. Big race.
Heat number 20 it is there. And away from the start, Hancock off gate number 3 quite beautifully. This would give him the lead in the World Championship again, but Harris up the inside. Chris Harris all very tight down the back straight. Hancock keeps it wound on though, and has got loads of speed. And now Kenneth Bier in the mix as well. It's very, very fast and very exciting here at Melilla. And Greg Hancock has that lead with Bier chasing him hard. Smolinski's still in the mix as well now in 3rd. And Harris comes up the inside now.
Harris was nearly in the front earlier on. Now he's at the back. Unbelievable. He's actually worked hard to get to the better of Smolinski. What an opening lap that was from Greg Hancock. If you ever doubted his commitment to the sport, you saw it there. 100% committed. Down the back straight, really meant business. He's firing away out in front. Good ride from Bier in 2nd. Harris in 3rd. The German Smolinski struggled tonight. Hasn't been his evening at all. Hancock out in front under pressure from Bier.
Hancock is going to take a 12-point score into the semi-finals here. Bier had a go towards the end. It wasn't quite enough. He's got 10 points as well, with Chris Harris in 3rd, and that's the 20 heats completed ahead of the semi-finals and the finals. Greg Hancock, Mr. Consistent, leads the World Championship. His family aren't here tonight, though, because his kids went to see a One Direction concert in Stockholm.
Dad.
So they put One Direction over Daddy. Goodness gracious
Could it be the night that Greg goes on and wins his first Grand Prix in Sweden? That really would be a fabulous achievement for him. What a good ride that was.
Hancock, Bier, Harris and Smolinski, the finishing order there. And it's all set up beautifully now for the semi-finals in Melilla.
Yeah, Greg Hancock, you know, we say it every time, every fortnight when we come to a Grand Prix, how marvellous he is. He still retains the enthusiasm. You watch what happens when he goes down the back straight here. 44 years of age, absolutely committed, because Harris here puts him under a lot of pressure and he winds it on and sweeps around the outside, smooth as you like, hits the front, and although he comes under pressure late on in the race by the man on the outside at this stage, look how tight it was once again. Great speedway here in the G&B Arena. It has been a great night so far after 20 races, but Hancock onto 12 points. Great effort from him. Good effort from Kenneth Pierre back in second place. Disappointment for Smolinski, but Hancock, 12 points, joins Holder at the top of the table.
Well, here we have the World Championship standings ahead of the semi-finals, and we have all 4 riders in the top 4 are in the semi-finals. Hancock, Woffingham, Pedersen and Zagar are in the semi-finals here. So is Chris Holder. Darcy Ward is not. Everson is. Freddie Lindgren is not. So 6 of the top 8. Is that right? 6 of the top 8 are in the semi-finals. Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. And it's been such a competitive night. It's been some excellent speedway with passing for fun at times and close racing, tight racing. Track conditions have been a little slick, but nonetheless, it hasn't deterred or detracted from the action. This crowd, look at that crowd there. They have been royally entertained so far, and they've made the effort to come, and they've got plenty of value for money for their tickets here tonight. Good to be back here. It's a long way. It's a tough ask coming here, but the track really does serve up some special speedway, and no wonder they come in their droves to support it.
Kelvin's been worth battling through the heavy thunderstorms yesterday, through the forest.
Can't believe it. When you look at the sky now, it's just, it bears no resemblance to what we saw yesterday. Wind, rain, it really was biblical weather we encountered on the way here. So, yeah, delighted that it's fined up. Good speedway.
Don't have to worry about the next 2 GPs with the weather. We've got roofs.
Oh, that's handy, isn't it?
Copenhagen and Cardiff. That'll do nicely.
It will do, indeed. Great run of meetings coming up. This one and the next 2
set up any better to go to 2 of the best stadiums in the world. The Parken in Copenhagen, home of the Danish national football team.
Yeah.
The Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. And look at the title race. It is set up absolutely perfectly.
It is indeed, and I can't remember for many a year how having a championship that is so tight and, you know, topsy-turvy like this, it really does, you know, keep everybody glued to it. And it's far from over this evening. We've got Hancock on 58, Woffingham 57, Pedersen 55, Zagar 52. That's incredible. Zagar's done well, hasn't he?
Still 6 points available if you win your semi and the final as well. Bear that in mind.
And the possible winner, massive winner, be here. Somebody like Niels Christian Everson, who was well and truly outside the top 8 coming in tonight.
He was 10th.
He was 10th, and now all of a sudden, when we flip over, I think he's nicely ensconced in the top 8 with 6 more points available. He could make a big impact, but yeah, it's been great, really super stuff. And Holder as well. I'm pleased for Holder because I've been watching his scores in Sweden and Poland, and they haven't been very impressive. So 12 points from his 5 tonight. That's more like it from him.
He even admitted on Twitter last weekend, I think it was Sunday or early part of the week, on his Twitter feed, Chris Holder, that he said that, you know, I'm struggling, I don't know what to do next, I don't know which way to turn.
Yeah.
Well, I've got news for you, Chris. A few days later, you're in the semi-finals of the Swedish Grand Prix as joint top scorer with the series leader, Greg Hancock. It's a great effort.
Yeah, what's your problem, Chris?
Yeah.
I'm not giving you any sympathy now.
No.
We're all feeling
Drama queen.
Drama queen, yeah. He's never in doubt he was going to quit. Class never goes, does it? And he's shown plenty of that tonight. Track grading going on, plenty of times for some refreshment for the crowd to just take a few deep rests before 3 very important races coming up.
Well, there's the finishing order then. Hancock, Holder, 12 apiece. Pedersen and Muffenden on 11. Hampel, Everson and Bier on 10. When a rider finishes level on points, it is established on race wins, and then it goes back to when they raced each other. Zagar finished on 9. He's the last qualifier. So even if you'd have scored 8 points tonight, it would have not been enough for a semi-final place. So if you work on a rule of thumb of 8 points, it's not a guarantee.
No, it isn't, and we've seen that before. We have seen as little as 7 make the semi-finals, but tonight it's been one of those evenings where it really has been so competitive.
Wasn't there a time, Kelv, when Scotty Nichols went to the showers and had to be pulled back to get back in his Kevlar?
It was in Italy. I think it was in Italy years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, it may have been even as low as 6 maybe, and he had to dash back out and ride in the semi-finals. Yeah, quite a remarkable...
Didn't have time to dry his hair.
No. Here we go for the semi-finals. Interesting to see which way they go. Not completely clear-cut. Greg Hancock, I think, is coming up first. He's having a chat and a laugh. Gate 3. Interesting. He fancied that. There we go, the world champion going off the inside. Woofy has enjoyed a good night and he's enjoying his Speedway once again.
The top 2 in the World Championship had first 2 picks of gates in this semi-final.
Not easy, not an easy decision this evening. It's not clear-cut. There's not one race that, one start that stands out. Everson taking his time here. He really is pondering over this. Gate 2. Gate 2 for Everson. And
So
the outside for Pierre.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. We've seen plenty of race
Chris
winners.
Holder said in his interview, when you go off gate 4, at least it does give you options when you're going into the first turn. As the first turn comes towards you, it gives you options.
We saw that with Pedersen, didn't we,
Yeah.
just a few races ago, where he chopped
Switch
back
up
to
the
the
inside.
inside and made that Woofenden, Everson, Hancock, Pierre. Great lineup for semi-final number 1.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? It's all right. And Holder, 12 points, has ridden very well. He fancies 3 as well, so giving them options. I think they're going for a safe bet there. Holder out of gate 3, white. Nicky Pedersen's ridden well this evening. He's going to go the inside gate for Pedersen. Won his last race from there, of course, heat 17, a big heat 17. Great ride to have won that race. Hampel, they're not rushing.
I'd go 4.
Hampel goes gate 2, so
that's why
he
he's a rider and I'm not.
He wasn't listening to you, Nige.
Not many people do, Kelvin. They only watching to listen to you anyway.
Okay, Zakar gets the outside gate, and he won't be too unhappy about that. He's turned his night around. When he was on 5 and he needed a win, he came up with it, and that was crucial to him because he only picked up 3rd. So 2 big semi-finals, the World Championship wide open here, Nige.
The big loser tonight, Kelvin, is Darcy Ward.
Yeah.
He's on 51 points and he won't take any further part now. He's missed the semi-finals and he is the big loser.
Now, this
But
will
when
be
we look at the
interesting.
stats,
This will be interesting. Yeah, the inside gate favourite, gate 3 and 4, and got to say that with gate 3 and 4 being even Stevens, gate 2 hasn't worked out so well, but Everson actually chose it.
And Hampel did.
Yeah, he actually chose it, and Hampel, when the other 3 were more successful throughout the first 20 heats. Big semi-finals coming up, hugely important World Championship points on the line, and when you consider how tight it is, you can't overemphasise that. You can't afford it. Like you say, Ward missing out, that could hurt him, and he missed an opportunity 2 weeks ago when he had 15 coming out of the 20 heats and then failed to make the final when he looked like a, you know, absolute cert to make the final, and Nicky Pedersen put play to his chances. 58 Hancock. Then the next 4, that's interesting. Lindgren won't make any further progress. Everson could be a winner. He could move into the 50s and maybe put pressure on Darcy Ward, and Niels Christian Everson is beginning to make his presence felt in the championship chase.
Yeah, so this first semi-final we have the top 2 riders in the world in Woofenden and Hancock. Hancock on 58, Woofenden on 57. And then in the second semi-final, you have Nicky Pedersen, who's 3rd in the world, on 55. Matti Zagar and Chris Holder are locked level on 52 apiece. And they are in the second semi-final here. So it is absolutely intriguing. These next 2 heats, not only to decide the finalists, but to see the order of the World Championship.
What an opportunity for Hancock. If he could pick up a couple of wins, that really would give him a little bit of a steal on the rest of the competition going into Copenhagen and Cardiff, where he will enjoy the conditions in those 2 races. Fabulous lineup for the first semi-final. Here they go, they're pushing off. And Pierre there, he's done well tonight. Fabulous semi-finals coming up.
What a lineup this is, the first semi-final then here in Melilla, the G&B Arena. It's the first time we've been back here since 2012, and my goodness, it has not disappointed in any way, shape or form. Fantastic speedway tonight, right from the first heat, drama all the way. Good racing on the track, fascinating changing of positions on the night and in the World Championship standings. It has just had a little bit of everything, Kelv.
It has, and track conditions could well be at their best now. The sun is beginning to go down behind the trees on the back of the third and fourth corner, and that will just keep that little bit of moisture in the track, and plenty of action going on out there. Certainly Woofenden on the inside, the world champion, you just feel that he won't be too far away from making the final tonight. And Iversen has done well to respond after that mistake in his fourth ride by picking up a really well-deserved win in his fifth. And Hancock, such a good performance once again from him. Big semi-finals coming up.
What a lineup. The top two riders in the current standings do battle here. It's Ty Woofenden off the inside in red with Niels Christian Iversen, gate 2. The series leader, Greg Hancock, gate 3 in white. And Kenneth Bier going off the outside in yellow. What a meeting we've seen. Some fantastic speedway. We've seen great racing. We've seen a fascinating battle for positions on the night and in the World Championship generally. And don't forget, when we go to Copenhagen in a fortnight's time, that will be the halfway point of the 2014 World Speedway Championship. Its first semi-final it is here at the G&B Arena in Millila.
Yeah, fabulous lineup, and you're dead right, Nige. This has been a really top draw Speedway night. We've seen some super action, and the lineup for this semi-final, track conditions looking nigh on perfect. Here we go.
Yep, first semi-final it is then here in the G&B Arena, and what a start from Greg Hancock. Woofenden holds the inside line. Hancock's got a lot of speed, but so has Woofenden, and Woofenden has that lead now in red. Hancock is second. The Danish duo are third and fourth right now, with Bier and Iversen having a go, but Woofenden has got lots of speed here and could be on the verge of a third successive Grand Prix final.
Yeah, and the inside line on the track has improved immensely because they pulled a lot of dirt to the inside, and it worked a treat for Woofenden then. He was able to creep round the inside and get the better of Greg Hancock, who made a really good start. Hancock's under pressure. He's looking down at the bike. Iversen's coming in third place. The American under pressure. Iversen going in lifts. Oh! Iversen's in the fence. Looking like he was going to threaten for second place. Woofenden's got it though.
I thought Niels Christian Iversen was taking a trip to the VIP.
Me too. Fancied a drink.
Ty Woofenden takes the victory with Greg Hancock in second. The VIPs can open their eyes once again because Iversen has finished third. All's well that ends well, and Ty Woofenden gets a third successive Grand Prix final appearance to his name. Brilliant. With a fantastic win in semi-final 1.
Yeah, Hancock made the start, Nige, but the dirt on the inside now just meant that he was able to hold the white line, and he picked up loads of grip and was able to get to the front and look really impressive. Iversen was a touch fortunate to stay on his motorbike.
Woofenden moves on to 14 points, level with Greg Hancock, and that pulls Woofenden level again at the top of the World Championship, just as we were at the start of the night. Fascinating stuff here in Grand Prix Speedway tonight.
It is indeed, and Woofenden and Hancock battle it out through the first corner. Iversen misses it on gate 2, and Bier can't land a blow on the outside, but as I say, there's just a little bit more grip on the inside as they've prepped the track before the semis, and it works a treat for the world champion here. Look how good Hancock is out of gate 3, but he just can't clamp Woofenden down enough. And as they go down the back straight, Woofenden then beginning to pull away with Iversen back in third. Hancock runs wide there and slows. I thought for a moment he might have had an issue with the motorbike, but it's not to be, and Iversen isn't close enough to take advantage of it when he runs wide. But Woofenden wins really quite comfortably, Nigel, and that was well, he's going to be a major threat for back-to-back Grand Prix victories.
Yep, and remember, he was the clear leader in Finland until he just picked up that drive, and Zagar nipped up the inside. Look at this for a world title race, and by the way, Pedersen and Zagar in third and fourth are up next in this second semi-final. Fantastic stuff. You couldn't have scripted it, could you?
No, you can't, and the lineup again for both these semi-finals has been top draw. Pedersen has ridden very well this evening, and he's off the inside, and he'll be loving that. And possibly the choice of gate 3 might be a hard one to replicate because the track has changed. It's been tough to follow conditions. Certainly worked for Woofenden in the previous one.
The sun is setting here in Sweden. We're deep in the heart of the forest. Here in Manila, Nicky Pedersen off the inside, 11 points. Jari Campbell, gate 2 in blue, has looked quick tonight. Chris Holder, a fantastic performance, gate 3 in white. Matti Zegar, outside in yellow, won of course in Finland 4 weeks ago now.
Third last time 2 weeks ago, you know, so he's been in fine form. He's had to battle hard, hasn't been quite at his best tonight, Nigel, but he's done well to make the semi-finals. Holder's been brilliant, coming into this meeting out of form, not quite sure what he was going to produce. He's done well to get to 12 points. Great race again.
Here we go, second semi-final. Who will join Woofenden and Hancock in the grand final here in Manila? Tape dries and Hampel's made a beauty off gate number 2 and clamps that line. Now here comes Zegar from the back and Holder around the outside. Zegar comes up into the mix and now Pedersen charging hard in third, but Jari Campbell has got the race under control. Second place is Holder, but Pedersen is still having a go. There's a long way to go in this one, folks.
Pedersen throws the bike into the first corner as they start the second lap. Hampel responding well. Finished last in E17. He's made a diamond start out at the graveyard gate 2. He chose it and he knew what he was doing because he made it work and he's out in front. Holder's in second place. Zegar charging hard in third.
And the third and fourth place riders in the World Championship are going to see their interest in this Grand Prix ended here and now, and that will give Hancock and Woofenden a golden opportunity to extend some daylight ahead of Zegar and Pedersen going into Copenhagen. And Pedersen has taken Zegar off.
Oh, that's a hard crash.
He's taken Zegar off. He's dived up the inside, and that is ruthless. And Zegar is fuming. Zegar is fuming. Absolutely furious here. Oh, and Pedersen kicks out.
Oh, it's kicking off there. Zegar winning the fence so hard at such high speed. I can't believe he's up and about. That's how he went in there. It was a tough move from Pedersen down the back straight as they dived into turn 3 on the opening lap. Zegar incensed and overshadows the result from the two boys out in first and second, with Holder coming second with a great ride from Hampel. Real drama on the last lap there with Zegar. Well, there was definite contact and he had no choice but to bail out.
Well, the race leader Jari Campbell, Chris Holder second, and then this happened. Turn 3. Oof. It's a good job he got off the bike when he did.
Tell you what, he's very fortunate to have missed his bike. If he went with his legs first here, they caught here. It's almost like the footrest lifts him up and just literally... Nicky Pedersen's footrest looks like it's gone under the engine plates of Zegar's bike and lifted him up as he's turned the bike. And then Zegar incensed with that, can't believe it. And Nicky obviously then lashes out, emotions running hard. Yeah, take that.
Steel shoe.
Yeah. Uncomfortable.
Dear, dear.
Very uncomfortable. Emotions running very high indeed. He was so lucky.
Yeah. Well, it really is drama here as we see scenes in the pits area. Matti Zegar going straight across to Nicky Pedersen. And there's some serious discussions going on there. And, well, quite clearly Zegar is fuming. Krista Gardell involved down there in the pits area. We'll apologise if there's any language that has offended you here. But this is boiling over. And this is pure controversy here. Well, interesting, but either way, Nicky's night is over, and Matti Zegar's night is over as well. They did complete the race, so there is no need for a rerun. Jari Campbell, the race winner. Second place went to Chris Holder. Matti Zegar was third, and Nicky Pedersen disqualified. So it does mean that we have Ty Woofenden and Greg Hancock going into the final with an opportunity to open a big gap, and full credit there to Hampel and Holder, and a few handbags along the way.
We said again, Pedersen's on the inside from the inside gate. Woofenden won there, but he can't make it. It's a fabulous start from Jari Campbell out of gate 2, which has not been favoured tonight, but he chose it and he made it work for himself. Pedersen there, we're looking at him once again going to the first corner. Hampel's out in front. He has a pretty clean run here. Pretty unspectacular, but the fact is that he's enjoyed a terrific night of Speedway, and Hampel responds brilliantly after failing to score in his 5th ride in Heat 17, and Holder again, you know, packing in the points, no worse than 2nd place this evening. But this move late on in the race by Pedersen clashes with Zago. Zago's awfully lucky there. He goes in with his feet first and just misses the bike as he goes under the fair fence. Handbags in the pits afterwards, emotions running high. Holder and Hampel through to the final with what happened on the last corner with Nicky Pedersen and Zago. Zago, you can understand why he's been so upset by that hard charging move from Pedersen to try and steam up the inside late on in the race. And it went wrong, and Zago is very fortunate not to have got injured in that incident. Understand, adrenaline pumping through your veins, high speed incident, quite shocking. Zago clearly very upset about that.
And what it does mean as well is that Chris Holder now with 2nd place there is ahead of Matti Zagar and 1 point behind Nicky Pedersen in the World Championship. So Nicky's finished on 55, Matti Zagar's finished on 53, and Chris Holder has moved on to 54.
Great night for Holder.
Yeah.
When you consider the form he had coming in
the world now.
Yeah, he's 4th in the world, and he has found points hard to come by in the leads coming into here. He certainly hasn't tonight. He's been rock solid. No worse than 2nd tonight, Holder. Woofenden looking fantastic. The world champion looking like he could pick up another Grand Prix win, looking relaxed. Hampel was hugely impressive in his semi-final. World champion going for the inside. No, gate 3 this time. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Woofy out of gate 3. Hampel will go gate 1 this time. Doesn't fancy gate 2, where he won the semi-final from. Greg Hancock. Ooh, not quite sure. Gate 2. He can make a start though, Hancock, can't he? Oh. And that gives Holder the outside, super line-up. But Holder said earlier on he doesn't mind that. He knows that that gives him plan B if he doesn't quite get there. It's been a good night, Nige, hasn't it? Hampel, Hancock, Woofenden and Holder. World Championship really is fired into life this evening. This has been a smashing Speedway meeting. Great turnout 2 weeks ago in Prague. Full house there with Woofenden turning it on and winning back-to-back Prague Grand Prix, 12 months apart. Can Woofenden, the world champion, now win consecutive Grand Prix for the first time in his career?
Right now we have Greg Hancock and Ty Woofenden on 60 points. Nicky Pedersen will not go again in the final. He's out on 55. And Chris Holder only needs a 2nd place here to become world number 3, or 3rd in the world, I should say, to say correctly, going to Copenhagen.
Great night for Holder.
Time. Yeah, he's
when
a
you
big
consider,
mover,
when you say his Twitter feed was suggesting that he really was desperate, didn't know which way to go, finding points awfully difficult to come by. But tonight he's really has piled the points in. You know, he's on to 14 points this evening, and that's a great return. Bit of work going on there with the equipment. Woofy looking pretty relaxed, considering this is a big race coming up.
Well,
I'm going to go for him. I'm going to go for him in, Nige. I fancy he can win consecutive Grand Prix.
Wins.
Yeah,
and
could have won 3.
Yeah,
could have won 3.
But he's won 2, both in Prague. So it's time he won somewhere else, isn't it? Really, pretty poor record for a world champion.
Yeah, it is. He's got to, he's got to pull his finger out, hasn't he? And start winning Grand Prix in different countries. Hampel's it's been great. He's won Grand Prix all over the place, and he's been out of form after the incident in Prague. He just was. I think he got 2 points in Prague, and that was desperate for a rider of his class. And
he's moved into the top 8 by my calculations.
Yes,
he's gone a point above Freddie Lindgren.
Yes, and that's no surprise. He's been top class tonight. Just one poor ride in his 5th ride in Heat 17, where he got squeezed out. But then the ride out of gate 2 in semi-final, that was a special ride when you consider how poor gate 2's been all night. Holder there just preparing himself. Good final, really good final.
It's fantastic. It's been a great night of racing, and again, Nicky Pedersen playing the role of the pantomime villain, Matti Zagar having a pop. And
it was a tough move, Nige. It was a tough move. I tell you what, that could have been awful lot worse. How they both got up, well, certainly how Zagar got up. He missed his motorbike. He went in with his legs first. That could have been all sorts of drama with your legs if he caught the bike going in. So he's a touch fortunate there, but yeah, Pedersen charging right to the checkered flag, and it probably overdid it there, but fabulous line-up here for the big final in Melilla.
So here is Ty Woffenden, the reigning world champion, and level at the top of the World Championship standings. And either Hancock or Woffenden will lead the World Championship outright going to Copenhagen in a fortnight's time. Mickey Pedersen not in the final, but Chris Holder is. So 3 of the finalists are in the top 4 in the world right now. Just another amazing twist.
Well, true
Fantastic
class,
night.
isn't it, across the tapes here. And the final really tough to call. I'm going to go with Woffen. I don't know who you fancy, possibly Woofy as well, but he's been really turning it on when it really means it. And could he win consecutive Grand Prix? Hampel also has been great tonight. That's a great, you know, bounce back ability for Hampel, because he has been struggling in the last couple of Grand Prix. Finland and Prague didn't go the way he would have wanted, but here this evening he's really enjoyed himself and has been flying. So yeah, tough one to call, but nonetheless, a fabulous lineup.
Wow, what a lineup. Jarek Hampel going off the inside in red. Greg Hancock and Ty Woffenden in gates 2 and 3 going head-to-head for the lead in the World Championship, going to Copenhagen in a fortnight's time. And Chris Holder, second place here, would take him into 3rd place in the World Championship just a week after he went on his Twitter feed saying, I don't know what to do next.
No,
unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, and how quickly things can change. It really has been a massive turnaround for Holder, who has struggled for points in the league racing coming into this event, ridden brilliantly well tonight. The world champion coming out of gate 3, Woofy, he has been supreme once again. Could he make it? 2 Grand Prix wins on the spin. Here we go, Nige. Great race.
Yeah, the grand final is on the line here, and the lead in the World Championship. Will it be Hancock? Will it be Woffenden? Woffenden, and the red lights have come on straight away.
Had to come on. Such a great jump. I don't know if he moved before the tapes went on, but it was awfully close to being a flyer.
Absolutely right. The referee wasted no time. Marek Wojciech, he just went for it there, Woffenden, didn't he? Just absolutely went for it. Here we see it again. Gate number 3, Ty Woffenden.
Yeah, goes a bit early, doesn't he? Does go just a fraction early and gains an advantage.
This is a great shot.
Yeah. Oh. Well, looking at that angle, it looks like he's just made a fabulous jump. But he's half a bike up, didn't he? By the time they've done a bike length, so Marek Wojciech fancied that he didn't jump the start. I think he may well have had to have anticipated that a touch, because you can't react that quite that quickly. So possibly I would agree with the referee in this instance.
All 4 riders back for the restart of the grand final here. The World Championship with Jarek Hampel here, who's done ever so well tonight to propel himself up the World Championship standings as well. Done a fantastic job. Chris Holder, brilliant night's work from him.
Hampel's just doing a bit of gardening there down on the inside gate. Just taking the opportunity to dig around, because such an important race. And Hampel, if he hits the front, we've seen this evening, difficult to peg back. He's got a lot of speed. Rides regularly in the Elite League in Sweden, of course. Rides for Vetlanda, knows this place well, and is very successful riding in Sweden. Conditions here suit him, and it's proven so this evening. He's had a great return, and this will do his World Championship chase no harm at all. Riders just taking a breather, helmets off. Expectation, pressure building, nerves jangling.
Just adds to the tension, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does indeed. It's been a great night. This has been a best Grand Prix so far this season.
Good atmosphere as well. Terrific crowd all around. It's a magnificent arena, this, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's been great to see the
fans. Been a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
It's a big effort for everybody to get here, so congratulations to all and sundry for making the effort to come to Melilla. It's a special racetrack, that's without question. 2 minutes on. 2 minutes on. Got to get that bike out. Fuel taps on. Don't forget to turn the fuel on. Don't run out of fuel on the start line. Somebody get the sack for that. But no, just backing it up. Woffenden now making his way out.
And a long journey for these boys as well. They ride in Poland on a Sunday because there'll be mechanics driving vans overnight to get to Polish League racing tomorrow as well. It's not all a glamorous lifestyle being a top Speedway star.
It's often the case that with Polish League on Sunday afternoons that these fellas literally have no time to celebrate and relax. They've literally get off the rostrum, get washed and changed, and they're in the back of the van racing across Europe to the next event, into the UK on Monday, then back out to Sweden on a Tuesday. It's a relentless process these boys go through.
Here we go, second time of asking. Ty Woffenden off gate number 3. The cause of the unsatisfactory start, I suspect, from Marek Wojciech there. I'm sure that's the reason why he was pulled back. But all 4 riders back for the restart. What a lineup it is. Will it be Hancock or will it be Woffenden who leads the World Championship going to Copenhagen? And who will win on the night? Hampel off the inside. Big night for him. 13 points to his name. Greg Hancock, gate number 2 in blue. Ty Woffenden, the reigning world champion, gate 3 in white. Has that British final at Wolverhampton to defend on Monday as well. So some big meetings thick and fast for Woffenden. And Chris Holder, a return to form after 1 or 2 ordinary league displays throughout Europe.
Yes.
But Holder has been brilliant tonight and he's off the outside.
Yeah, pleased to see that with Holder. He's too good to be scoring 4s and 5s in the league, and clearly was questioning which way to go and equipment. There'll be all sorts of questions about everything, but coming in tonight, it's all fallen right for him. Gently making their way back up. Second time of asking. Darcy Ward looking on. He would desperately have wanted to be out there in the final. Here we go.
Here we go, the grand final. Oh, and the tape's held down again, and Hancock has made a beauty. Greg Hancock has got that lead. Woffenden's got drive around the outside. Holder's coming up the inside as well. Now Woffenden is going to take up the challenge and go into the dirt. He's got to work hard here. Woffenden has passed Hancock. Oh! Woffenden has passed Hancock. Can you believe it here in Manila? Not many people can do that and pass the master, Greg Hancock. It's Ty Woffenden of Great Britain. Greg Hancock second, Chris Holder third, and Jarek Hampel at the back.
Fabulous move from the world champion to get the better of the Hancock, the American. They're round the outside. Fantastic ride, and he's pulled away. Absolutely flying out in front. I thought for a moment that Hancock was going to be able to break the hoodoo and finally win a Grand Prix in Sweden, but the night looks like it's going to belong to the world champion. Woffenden out in front, flying.
Into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. It's Great Britain's world champion, Woffy, Woffy, Woffy!
Oh, what a ride from Woffenden that was. Hancock was supreme away from gate 2. Got himself to the first corner, but the move from Woffenden through turns 3 and 4 on the opening lap was majestic. In the dirt, got the wheels in line, powered to the front. Consecutive Grand Prix wins for Woffenden. After Big Gosh, we were questioning whether Woffenden would even retain his top 8 place. Now he leads the World Championship. Consecutive wins in the championship.
He leads it by a point. He's beaten Greg Hancock,
yeah,
but his lead in the World Championship is only 1 point.
Yeah, but look at his form, Nigel. In the last 3 Grand Prix, he could have had 3 wins on the spin. He really is the man of the moment right now. Really is in the form of his life once again. That is such a great performance. And Ty Woffenden living up to the, his mantle of being world champion. Brilliant.
That has been a great night of Speedway from everybody. Greg Hancock taking a lap of honour right now. That has been a great night from him. And what a performance from Woffenden to get the better of Hancock from the back.
Yeah.
Not many people do that. Woffenden, Hancock, Holder, and Hampel, who's had a terrific night tonight as well. And the fans really appreciating the Speedway they've seen tonight. Woffenden 17. I bet he wishes the World Championship had just started in Finland. Forget about Auckland, forget about Big Gosh. And here he is on the top step of the podium. It's the 3rd win of his career and the first win that he's got away from Prague. He's won on a 2nd venue, and it's Manila. And what a night it's been. Here comes Holder. Yeah. Hancock will join him shortly as well. A terrific night of Speedway.
You say that he wishes World Championship started just a couple of weeks ago, but Nigel, sometimes the bad times make the good times that little bit better, and certainly he's had to dig deep. There's been a massive effort from the team, and it's paid dividends. I thought for a moment that Hancock was going to win his first Grand Prix in Sweden here. Made a great start from gate 2, and he gets himself to the front, but this is the move that seals it. Hancock just cannot resist that charge from Woffenden round the outside. Possibly could have run a bit wider there, Hancock, to stop the run from Woofenden, but he was in an irresistible form here later on in the meeting. Look how relaxed he is. This is a Grand Prix final. He's looking around him, relaxed on the bike, flies through and wins for the first time away from the Czech Republic. Leads the World Championship, could have won the last 3 Grand Prix. He's the top man. He's the best rider in the world right now.
And Greg Hancock has just embraced Ty Woofenden, the man who's just beaten him, passed him from the back, and Hancock has just thrown his arms around Ty Woofenden, who we can hear from now with Jason Harold.
Well, Ty Woofenden, congratulations. How does this feel? 2 on the bounce.
Yeah, pumped. I was coming to this one and didn't really know how to get on, you know. It's not one of my favourite tracks, but we got the setup right in the end, and I was fast as, so can't complain. And I got 4 days off after Poland on Sunday, or after the British Championship on Monday, and I'm going to step everything up a notch and finish strong.
Just tell us about that first start where he called you back. Did you think you'd made a flyer?
Nah, I knew I jumped a few tonight and probably messed up my chances for getting a few more points, but hey, it's a racetrack and we're all racers, so it's been a good night.
There aren't many people that can do that to Gregor Hancock, not only overtake him, but just pull away like you did.
Yeah, I'll take it when I can.
Congratulations, Ty. Enjoy the anthem. Well done.
Thank you.
What a ride that was. As Jason was just saying, that you know, it's not easy to pass Greg Hancock. Hancock was very fair. He gave him plenty of racing room. Hancock possibly, if he could ride the race again, would move wider in that bottom corner. Here are the standing, Nige.
Woofenden 63, Hancock 62, and Holder has gone level with Nicky Pedersen on a 55.